we kind of stopped doing these because we didn't really get a chance to do them. And, there's a window, there's an opportunity. Obviously, it is Christmas Eve, 2022 at the time of recording this. So if you are watching this in the future, maybe it's 2023. Who knows what crazy year it is that you're watching this. But yes, it is Christmas Eve 2022. And exciting. I hope everyone is well. I hope everyone is excited. Santa is 58 minutes away here in the UK. 58 minutes till we get Santa. I'm not expecting him on the stream, to be honest. He is a little bit camera shy. He's been in a lot of films, in all fairness. I think against his will. He has to raise a lot of money to pay for all of those toys. But he is expected to be about 58, 57 minutes away. And I'm sure there's probably a lot of kids probably still awake. I was always quite good at going to bed quite early on Christmas Eve. I was normally quite good at getting to bed so that I didn't disturb Santa. It's the last thing you want to do, is disturb Santa Claus. So I definitely was getting myself off to bed quite early. I remember, I'd be getting into bed about 10, which for me was quite early, and then I'd be struggling to go to sleep. And I would be lying there, trying to close my eyes, trying to get to sleep. But I was so excited that I wouldn't fall asleep. So then I'd be like, oh my God, I've got to get to sleep. I do remember it being a little bit stressful, very exciting, incredibly exciting. Also with the tinge of stress as I was trying to get myself off to sleep. But Merry Christmas, everyone. Hang on, I've got the sound effect.
Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas.
There we go. Very nice. Right. One thing that I am thinking about as I'm just setting this up is we do need a timer for when we go to this. I haven't done this in a hot minute. So let's try and create a little timer here. We did used to have one, but I don't even have one set up anymore. But this will just help people know where I am with the show and those that join us a little bit late. We are going to be watching WrestleMania 18. The reason for that is because, classic, it's WrestleMania. Who doesn't love WrestleMania? But also it's got Hogan and it's got The Rock, which should be pretty fun for Christmas Eve to go back and revisit that classic. So we'll pop that down there. Little clock in the corner so people know where we are. I have seen, because I didn't look in advance, and I do regret that a little bit. I have seen that this clock's in at about 3 hours 40, which, if you know me, you know that my attention span is roughly about 3 hours. Once we go over the 3 hour mark, my attention span starts to drift. And so, 3 hours 40, that's actually all right. If this was WrestleMania 35, which I think clocks in at close to 7 hours with the pre-show, I would be crying right now. I would actually be in tears right now. But thankfully, it's not that long. It's 3 hours 43. So let's get started. We can talk about Christmas. We can talk about what we're hoping to get, what our plans are for Christmas Day, how Christmas Eve has gone, what you're going to be watching. This is going to be a chilled stream. This is also a WrestleMania 18 stream. So, of course, we will be talking about WrestleMania 18. But this is chilled. This is Christmas Eve. Yeah, we're just here for a good time. So let's get through these adverts first. So I'm pressing play, and I'm just getting through my first advert, which is Jericho. Actually, Jericho on Stone Cold's podcast is the advert that I've got. Watch Stone Cold Broken Skull Sessions anytime. Right. So now I have got the start of WrestleMania 18. So we're going to hit play on this bad boy. All right. Are we ready? In 3, 2, 1, go. Right. I have pressed play at the same time on both of these things, and we are underway. We are in Toronto. We are in the Sky Dome. We are in Canada. This is only the second time that we had been to outside of America at this point. And honestly, I've seen this WrestleMania maybe twice. So we are opening up with a musical act. I don't even know who this musical act is. Let's have a look, see what we can find, what information we can get from the WrestleMania 18 Wikipedia. Oh God, this is so Attitude Era. So Attitude Era. It's weird because this is a weird era because obviously... Oh, hello. Okay, we have an alarm. We've got an alarm, and I don't know what that alarm is. You know, the speakers? Oh, my God. Okay, we've got drama. I can't stop. It's still going. What's this? Okay, fixed it. For some reason, it just flipped over to countdown. I like rock music, but I don't know who this is. Is this some kind of Limo Biscuit? Yes, that's these guys are Limo Biscuit. Limo Biscuit, fantastic group. Big fan of an alarm. Make it stop. I know, yeah, that was annoying. It was, for some reason, there was a countdown clock on Google that had started when I had started the timer, and they both started at the same time. Okay, I'm really getting stressed out because I can't cope with this music, right? I can't cope with this music. This music's doing my head in. Right, who opens? Okay, Saliva. The pay-per-view starts with a performance of Superstar by the rock band Saliva. And after this, we are going to go to our first match. Our first match, William Regal defending his Intercontinental Championship against Rob Van Dam. I believe this is the second time William Regal opens a WrestleMania. Like, I'm sure he opens WrestleMania 17. And now here he is opening WrestleMania 18 as well as the Intercontinental Champion. So we are going to be seeing William Regal against Rob Van Dam. This is Saliva that are performing, and I can tell you that Saliva are an American band from Tennessee. Still going, apparently. Still going. If you are enjoying this, you can go and see the band Saliva whenever you want. Just don't take me. Killing me! Terrible name for a terrible band, said McLean. Miss Clown, hello. Shout out to you. Wes said, I'm only here so that I can smoke some blunts and not get fined. Dudes, you smoke away. Anna, Merry Christmas. Shout out to you. I saw Anna in the chat. I've never heard of this band. Not even after Googling them. I have heard of them. I can't say I've ever heard them. I mean, I will have heard it when I watched WrestleMania 18 the first time. But this has never been my kind of music. But this is a weird era for WWE because it's like the Attitude Era, but it's not really the Attitude Era because they're not competing and actually haven't been competing against WCW for a year up until this point. It's been 12 months now since WCW have gone out of business. So we're not competing against WCW, but equally we haven't quite got to the Ruthless Aggression era yet. So we're in this weird void. We're in this kind of weird 2002 kind of world, which 2002 I always just think of Brock, and this kind of is a bit of a vacuum. It's a bit weird. It's still Attitude Era. They're still pushing forward with the Attitude Era, but there's no competition anymore. Like, there's no competition. They're not competing against WCW, and I think the WrestleMania 18 is still a very good WrestleMania. It's a fun WrestleMania, but it's not 17. And I think you can see that competing against WCW was really bringing out the best in WWE at this time. So for them to not be competing against them, I think it actually shows. It shows in WrestleMania 18 that they cracked it the year before. They had a killer WrestleMania the year before. A lot of people say the greatest pay-per-view of all time. 12 months later, can they repeat it? No is the answer. I would say that it's still a great WrestleMania. It's still very fun, but they can't repeat it. They can't recapture the magic of 17. When Rob Van Dam returned in 2013, did you enjoy his run? Would you like to see him come back, said Asib? Rob Van Dam I've always had a respect for, but I can't say I've ever loved. I mean, he's someone that gives his all. He's someone that can excite a crowd. It's a little bit like Jeff Hardy in a sense of, Jeff gives his all, Jeff excites a crowd. But I think you either feel something towards them or you just are a bit passive towards them. And I always feel with Jeff as well, a bit passive towards them. I really don't know why. I never lose my mind when it was a Jeff Hardy match. And I enjoyed watching him go after the title. I had no issues with him going after the title. But his recent run, I wasn't, there was people that were desperately hoping he would get to a title again, be a world champion again. They wanted to see him pushed again. I never felt that. I never felt that with Jeff. And I don't know, the same with Rob. I mean, I love his match against Cena. Love his match against Cena where it's one night only. I think that's 2006 when, the crowd are going crazy, ECW and everything. I mean, to me, that's just amazing. And that's my favorite Rob Van Dam moment. But I can't think of anything that really blew my mind, grabbed my attention, really made me a fan of Rob Van Dam. Just, he always did lots of cool stuff, but I never found myself really connecting to the character. And to be honest, I've said before, the Attitude Era is not my favorite era. A lot of people love this era. They will just watch this era, collect figures of this era. They go crazy about this era. But for me, there's a lot of dross here. There's a lot, certainly lower down the card, there's a lot of rubbish you have to sit through to get to anything decent. And I just don't feel that connection to quite a few from this era. So I never go back and watch Attitude Era. Hence why this channel has been going since 2016. We've never watched this WrestleMania. So hence why we're doing it now. One thing I will say, though, I mean, it's very quick camera cuts. It's very, look at this. Now we're going here. Now we're doing this. The energy is absolutely here. It's an energy era. Look at this. Now we're doing this. Now we're going here. Welcome, you JR shouting at you. And now, boom, we're going over to Rob Van Dam, who always had sick ring gear, didn't he? Look at the ring gear. So coming out, he's got purple ring gear. It's got a dragon. It's got the yin and yang sign on. Rob Van Dam, massive scaffold stage as well. Weird little screen, though, in all fairness. If you look at the size of the stage compared to the screen that they, I mean, obviously we're going back to 2002. This is 20 years old. And there's this big scaffold structure, and the stage that they're kind of coming down, the screen they're coming down, it's just this little thing behind them. William Regal. I always liked Regal, obviously. I mean, what with being from the UK, of course, we didn't really have many UK wrestlers that came through. I always wanted the Bulldog to get there. I always wanted the Bulldog to reach that upper level. And obviously, in the years after, you find out that he didn't because of his sort of personal demons. And so it's personal reasons that he didn't. But he was someone I always wanted to see get to the championship. I mean, we'll always have SummerSlam 92, but it's not a world title, is it? But Regal, man, I really enjoyed his work. Great heel. Funny as well. Who do you think would be better in 2022, Vince or Triple H? Who do you think did better, Vince or Triple H? I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say, isn't it? There's not much. I would say that the weekly shows are more enjoyable under Triple H. I would say the premium live events can feel quite big, but I mean that's just a very short snapshot. I mean, if we're going to talk about Vince, we're talking about the Attitude Era, we're talking about Undertaker, we're talking about Hulk Hogan, Hulkamania, WrestleMania, the Network. Like, there's so much stuff that we're talking about a guy that took a regional company in the 1980s, early 1980s, a company that only operated really in the Northeast, and made it not only like all over America, but international, took it global. I feel like you just can't really judge Triple H and Vince because Vince's achievements are so big and over such a long period of time that we're not going to know what Triple H has actually achieved until 20 years down the road, really. I mean, obviously we can say if we enjoy the weekly shows, and I think the weekly shows are better. I certainly look forward to Triple H's Raws and SmackDowns than I did Vince's Raws and SmackDowns. I tell you what, again, energy, excitement. We've got Rob Van Dam looking for the frog splash, but Regal moves out the way. Against the ropes goes Regal, knee to the side of the head. We are underway with Regal versus Rob Van Dam. This is for the Intercontinental Championship. William Regal's already bleeding a little bit here. Lovely yin and yang, actually, in this match, in the sense of you've got William Regal, who's more mat-based. He's someone that's a bit slower. He's a good heel. He's someone that will use dirty tactics and all that. Then you've got Rob Van Dam, the face, very explosive, very dynamic, very aerial abilities as well. Lots of aerial attacks. We've already seen the kick coming off the middle rope. And RVD, very dynamic, whereas Regal, a lot more, dare I say, technical, mat-based. Going for the pin, shoulder up. William Regal looking out at the crowd, trying to slow this pace down. And obviously that's going to allow Rob Van Dam to speed it back up and really energize the crowds. Nice reversal. Regal going into the corner. Big back body drop by Rob Van Dam. Kick coming into the heads. Lovely strikes coming in as well. Just looking at the crowd. Lots of signs. I'm trying to read some of the... Oh, my God. That's pretty brutal, man. 1, 2, shoulder up. Hello, Richard. Merry Christmas, buds. Where's green shirt guy? Do you know what? That's a really interesting question because I don't actually know the first time that we see green shirt guy. I don't know the first time he appears. That'd be a really interesting... do we see green shirt boy? Is it green shirt boy that then grows into green shirt guy? I don't know. But I don't believe he was around at this time. If he was, maybe he didn't have the connections to get to those amazing seats that he always gets. I've heard rumors that he knows like someone very high up in WWE, hence why he's able to always get those seats. There's got to be some sort of relationship. I just don't see how you can constantly get those seats. It's like they're reserved for him, isn't it? Like... He must, and he must have money as well. He must not be hurting, even though he's only got one unwashed green shirt and a cap to his name. He must have some money. Ringside for these seats are thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. I say unwashed. It probably is washed. It just looks a bit faded, doesn't it? Like the little smiley face thing. Over in the corner, what was your favorite match at 17? Says Damien. Favorite match from 17? Ooh, it's a question. Probably McMahon versus McMahon. I'm thinking Vince against Shane with Linda standing up. I think I remember us popping hard for that one. I remember us really enjoying it. So I'd probably go with that. People don't care about the environment as much. In 2002, green shirt guy had a shirt made out of micro beads and unrecyclable plastic. Hello, Dark Knight. Part 2 of Snowstorm. Yeah, hope everyone's safe. That's actually major news over here about what America's going through. I know you're not in America, Sonny, but it is major news. The top story over here in the UK has been about that storm in America and about what's been going on over there. So I hope everyone is safe and warm and well. We don't have snow here. So, seeing some of the images coming out of America is, quite shocking. It's bad. My mom literally just showed me a picture of a house, and it had icicles, coming down off the roof. It looked awful. So, as I said, I hope everyone is staying safe. William Regal, I think with they're the Knucks. He's gone into his shorts. He went back into his tights, but he got caught there. Referee was distracted. Rob Van Dam going up top. William Regal down. Rob Van Dam in position. Frog splash. There's the Brass Knucks down in the ring. 1, 2, 3, and Rob Van Dam wins. Rob Van Dam is the new Intercontinental Champion. If he wanted to win it now, he'd have to get past Gunther. Good luck with that, Rob. Gunther. UFC have tweeted Hall of Famer Stephan Bonnar has passed away. Stephan Bonnar? Has he? Damn. I didn't even know he was ill. That's very upsetting. That's very disappointing. Stephan Bonnar and Forrest Griffin have one of the, if not the greatest fights ever in UFC history. And I don't think he was that old either, you know. Stephan Bonnar. Let's just have a look at that. Stephan Bonnar. 45? Stephan Bonnar. We've lost everything. UFC legend Stephan Bonnar was distraught after wife and child were caught in devastating house fire. So he was left homeless back in April. It burned to the ground. I lost everything. That's awful. I didn't even know about this news, but that was back in April. Let's have a look. UFC. UFC family is saddened to hear the passing of Stephan Bonnar. Wow. Right. Let's try and refocus. That's awful news. The guy from Faithless passed away. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that on the BBC website. Here's Christian. He died 2 days ago. Who's Stephan Bonnar? Awful news. Okay, so Christian wants to be... We're backstage with Lillian Garcia, by the way. I love this backstage setup. So it's got like this scaffolding. Scaffolding looks awesome. It's got like a WrestleMania 18 sign. It's got a WrestleMania 18 backdrop. It looked cool. Oh, I've been there. I've been up that tower, CN Tower. And I've been in the Sky Dome. I've been to Toronto twice. Love Toronto. One of the one thing I always remember about Toronto, I always say, I'm sure I mentioned it during the WrestleMania 6 watch along. Loads of it is underground. So you can actually get off at the train station, get onto like the subway, the underground system, and just keep going. Just keep walking. Tunnels will take you to like shopping centers and like the whole thing's underground. I think it's because like it gets so cold that you have to go underground. Like sometimes, like now, I would imagine. But loads of Toronto is like, yeah, you can go underground. Like loads of tunnels connect to lots of different buildings and everything. Here's Christian. Christian's going to be facing Diamond Dallas Page for the European Championship. So we've got Christian making his way down. This clock is annoying. It keeps stopping unless I'm actually on the page, which is a bit frustrating. There we go. David Walker, shout out to you. Appreciate the support, buds. Said, yes, Hulkster. It's me, it's DDP. Here he is making his way down. His run in WWE wasn't brilliant. Here he comes, DDP making his way down as the WWF European Champion. So, David, shout out to you, buds. Shout out to you. I hope you have a great Christmas. I can see Austin's in the house as well. Now the party's started. Isn't Gunther defending the IC title in a 5-man ladder match at a house show? I have no idea. I can't say I've heard about that. Right, Christian grabbing the European Championship and holding it up as he jumps DDP to get this match started. DDP coming over and walloping Christian as Christian reverses. Big shot coming in here by DDP. He's still got his entrance vest on. Gut wrench. He's got Christian up in the air. Ooh. Gut buster. And DDP with a big clothesline. Over the top rope goes Christian and DDP. Crowd fired up for this one. So we're starting off WrestleMania with a couple of championship matches. We've just had the Intercontinental Championship match. Now we've got the European Championship match. I think there might even be a championship match coming up next as well. Championships everywhere. It's like AEW. Over in the corner, big shots coming in by DDP. Rob, shout out to you, my friends. Rob said, I'm just popping in to wish everyone a Merry Christmas or Boxing Day or whatever holiday you celebrate. Much love and respect to you, Days, and all the members in this amazing community. Rob, appreciate it, my friends. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great Christmas as well. Here in the UK, it is half an hour till Christmas. Half an hour. It's 11:30 here, so I'd imagine a lot of kids will be in beds, anxiously dreaming about what the morning is going to bring. But yeah, it's obviously quite exciting. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. It's obviously I'm looking forward to tomorrow for different reasons because I'm not expecting any presents tomorrow. Although I do know that I am getting my little board game, my little one-player board game. And my James Bond box set arrived today. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's a proper box set. James Bond. It turns out there's 24 films in there, not 22. 24. It's everything up to the most recent one. And I already have the most recent one. So amazing. And it was £16. And it's one of the best things I've ever bought. So I'm over the moon with that. So that came today. So bit of James Bond, playing my board game, having some chicken, drinking a beer. I'm not on the beer yet, to be honest. I'm still drinking coffee. I suppose I could have put a little something in the coffee, but I didn't. So, Rob, shout out to you, my friend. James said he's got 3 more shows to go. Mate, you'll have them done in an hour, wouldn't you? Have them done in an hour. Chill Dude said, Merry Christmas. Have you received your tittles? Hoping Santa's going to bring me some. I've been a good boy this year. Dark Knight said, I'm looking forward to watching the episode of EastEnders on UK Gold when Den hands Angie the divorce papers. Big moment. That got crazy views, didn't it? That's one of the most watched. It's a bit like our MASH finale over in America, like 100-odd million tuned in for the last episode of MASH. I think probably the biggest episode of any show that we had was probably, I don't even know how many tuned in. It must have been close to 20-odd million tuned in to watch on one of our soaps someone give his wife divorce papers and ask for a divorce. It's like the 1980s. It was a massive storyline. And Merry Christmas, Ange. And he gave the divorce papers over. Big shots coming in by DDT. Oh, lovely move. Singapore has got a ton of stuff underground in their downtown area, probably for space reasons, as it's densely populated, and they've got plans for more. That's cool, man. It's so cool. It's so cool when you're like underground, like, I don't know, it's a bit like being an adventurer, an explorer, just having a little look around. Where does that lead? Where does that go? You're just having a little look around. And when I was in Toronto, it was cold. I mean, I imagine it's cold all the time, but this for me was cold. And I'm British, so like it was crisp. It was one of those where you don't want to really be out in it too long. 1, 2, kick out. Yeah, it was cold, man. But there's something really satisfying about knowing how cold it is and then being like underground, nice and snug. Christian. He is trying to get the kill switch, but no joy. Christian goes into the corner. DDP. This match is all right. Do you know the one thing I do want to have a look at? I want to look at Dave Meltzer's ratings for these. I know people don't really care too about Meltzer's ratings, but it's always interesting to know what he scored it at the time. That is something that's really cool about Meltzer, is that he's been here for so long that for all these shows, you know that you've got his ratings. So I can tell you that Rob Van Dam against William Regal got 2 stars. Oh, Diamond Cutter connects, 2, 3, and there it is. Ding, ding, ding. DDP gets the victory. So we've got Rob Van Dam versus William Regal, 2 stars. I can tell you that Christian against Diamond Dallas Page got 1.75 stars. Coming up next, we have got Maven against Goldust for the Hardcore Championship. That gets minus 0.5 stars. If you've ever wanted to see a minus star match and you've never seen one, it's coming up next. It's coming up next. Minus 0.5 stars this next match. So we've got DDP just on the mat. Look at all those signs. Christian. So Christian losing in Toronto to Diamond Dallas Page. Christian having a hissy fit in the ring. Right. Boom. It was 22 degrees in Florida last night, said Going Ghost. Minus 0.5 stars. This is going to be a banger. Yes. Haseeb said, you say Roman main event in 2 nights isn't a good thing. What's the difference between him main event in 2 nights and a Carter doing 2 nights of Wrestle Kingdom? Well, I don't think that's a good thing either. I don't think if I was an avid New Japan watcher, I wouldn't have a Carter wrestling on both nights. The only thing I would say is that if there is a reason for it, like a title tournament, then you can understand it. So if we were doing semi-finals on night one, which I think is what they did at Wrestle Kingdom. And was it this year? Where they did 4 people in a tournament competing, 2 like going up against each other, the other 2 against each other. Winners went through to the second night to then face in the final. I mean, I would worry a bit about that because of the fact that someone could get injured and whatever, and it would completely ruin the whole thing. But yeah, you the other thing as well with that is that you could have say, oh well, no, you'd still have someone doing both nights, wouldn't you? I was going to say you could have Okada take on Naito in one semi-final, and then you could have Jay White take on Ibushi in the other semi-final, and the Ibushi semi-final could go last, but the winner of that will still go through to the next night. Short answer, there is no difference. It's a bad idea for Roman. It's a bad idea for Okada. Done. We are just seeing The Rock right now. Did you take your vitamins this morning? Coach said he did. As soon as he answers, The Rock's like, no, no, no. So we've got The Rock and we've got Coach backstage. What are you waiting for? Rock looks at the camera. Crowd just pop. Even a look at the camera makes the crowd pop. Smile on the face of The Rock. Say your prayers. Look into the sky. Get down on your knees. So he's making Coach say his prayers. You say your prayers. It's weird, isn't it? JC. What in the blue hell is wrong with you? He kicks Coach away for being disrespectful while saying his prayers. The Rock wants Hulkamania in all of its glory. Hulk Hogan, what you going to do when The Rock runs wild on you? What a main event this is. What a main event. We could do something like this in the future as well, if you think about it. Only in the future, it'll be Roman playing the Hulk's part, and, I don't know, Gable Steveson, whoever, like some young person that hasn't even joined the business yet, that goes on to be like the next face. It'll be them against Roman. So we could get something like this again in the future. Days, one of the main roads got blocked off due to cars being stuck and abandoned. People slept in Walmarts. That's my dream. Look, he's ripping his shirt. Cooking. It is going to be amazing. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? People slept in Walmarts and superstores, and they provided the people with free food. That's good. Here's Goldust. Goldust making his way down. You have a lovely house. Is that great Uncle Days on the painting behind you? Let me just check. That is... Can't see a painting up here. Yeah, that's great Uncle Days. That's great Uncle Days, and that's my sister. Just sat waiting for Santa. A lot of people think that's a doll. She does have very doll-like features, but it's actually my sister. If Roman does wrestle both nights, what night would you have him wrestle The Rock? What night would you have him drop the title to Cody? I wouldn't have him wrestle both nights, so don't make me try and book it, because I am firmly against it. So I wouldn't have him wrestle both nights. So if Vince came up to me and went, "God damn, I need you to book this," I'd be like, first of all, what are you doing here, you creep? And then I'd be like, I don't work here. And then once we got through all of that, I'd be like, right, fine. Let's do Rock Roman night 2. I feel like you'd have to do Rock Roman night 2 because it's the bigger match. I mean, it's staggering that Hogan Rock doesn't close this show. But apparently that's because of Triple H, like, really fighting to be the main event. He really believed that the WWE title match, the undisputed title match, should be the one that closes the show over Rock versus Hogan. I mean, it's funny, isn't it? Because even though Hogan and Rock doesn't close the show, it doesn't matter. It makes no difference. It is absolutely, in every sense, the main event of this show. And even though it doesn't close it, the energy gets taken out of the room by the time they get to the actual main event. But for me, like, Rock Roman's one of the biggest matches you can make. That I don't know that there's a bigger match. Can we get a poll? Who do people think will win the title match? Unfortunately, with Google, I think people will be able to figure out who's going to take the wins on this watch along. Almost nearly 40 minutes in already, you know. Going quick. We've had 2 matches. This is match number 3. Goldust against Maven for the hardcore title. Don't forget, this gets minus 0.5 stars. Minus 0.5 stars. We've got a gold trash can. Down goes Maven. And we've got Goldust trying to slingshot Maven into the trash can. He misses. He throws the trash can at it. Drop kick. He doesn't even drop kick the trash can very well. The trash can's still perfectly serviceable. So far, they've tried to throw someone into the trash can, then drop kick the trash can, and the trash can is absolutely fine. They're on the trash can lids. Little roll up. Maven getting back up to his feet. Nice net breaker. That was all right. So far, we could have some Benny Hill music playing over the top of this. That trash can has now been thrown, and it's still absolutely fine. Goldust has got Maven, picks him up, slams him down. Goldust jumps out the ring, goes underneath the ring, grabs a golden shovel. Must have borrowed that from Vince. Golden shovel being brought into the ring. Oh, I don't remember that spot. That's cool. He puts it underneath Maven, steps on it, and the golden shovel shoots into Maven's midsection, into his ribs. That was cool. That was cool. We got a trash can then in the corner. Big shots coming in. Kicks to the midsection by Goldust. Pulls him into the trash can. Now the trash can gets bent a little bit. Goldust going for the pin. And kick out by Maven. WWE trash cans are made by Tonka. Americans do think that us Brits like to act like Benny Hill 24/7. I mean, in all fairness, I would live that life if I could. Oh, they both hit each other with the trash can lids. The golden trash can lids. Right now, we've got the crowds getting excited. Spike Dudley has come running down. Spike Dudley has inserted himself into this match. There's a sign in the crowds that says Goldust raped my dad. That's a sign in the crowd at WrestleMania 18. Goldust raped my dad. Merry Christmas, everyone. They've got signs that say Hitmar. I think that's meant to say Hitman. I don't know what happened to the N. Right. I mean, that was rubbish, wasn't it? That match was rubbish. So it ends with Spike Dudley picking up the win, running away as he gets chased. So, Drowning Pool coming up next. Telling us the story of the WWE Championship match tonight. So we're just seeing like some video footage as Drowning Pool play over the top of it. Do you think Okada versus Roman would draw big? Not bigger than The Rock Roman. Not even close. I mean, Okada's niche. New Japan is niche. No. Would it draw? I mean, if it's WrestleMania, it's going to draw anyway. And you can build a good story. But honestly, how many people in that watch WWE are going to be aware of Okada? You bring Okada out, you'll get a reaction of sorts, but it ain't going to be people losing their minds at all. You'd have to really look in the crowd to find the people that even knew who he was. But to wrestling fans, it would be a big deal. Unless Drowning Pool sing bodies, then what's the point, says Anna. Come here for most times. Bunkers, shout out to you. I hope you're well. So we've just got, obviously, Steph was heavily involved in this feuds at the time. I don't know what this song is. It's another song that's not high on my agenda, to be honest. I can tell you that coming up next, though, we are going to have Kurt Angle against Kane. That'll be all right. Kurt Angle against Kane coming up next. And then the first part of WrestleMania concludes with Undertaker versus Ric Flair. So we've got Kurt Angle, Kane, and then we've got Undertaker versus Ric Flair. Then you tend to get a little bit of, there'll be interviews and whatever. And then we go into the second part. So there's 12 matches tonight. So far, we have had, we've had 3. One of them took place on Sunday Night Heat. Do you remember Sunday Night Heat? That was always like a pre-show type thing. And that was Rikishi, Scotty Too Hotty, and Albert defeating Mr. Perfect, Lance Storm, and Test. Would have been great to have had Mr. Perfect on this. Mr. Perfect's a legend. That easily could have put him in a match. I don't think he was in like a great physical shape at this time, though. Right, so we have got... here we go. Rock band Drowning Pool made a live performance of Tearaway with a video package playing in the background. So this is Tearaway, guys. If you sat there thinking, this is a Christmas banger, I wish I could put this onto my Spotify. I definitely need to play this whilst I'm enjoying my Christmas dinner later. There you go. Tearaway by Drowning Pool. Drowning Pool Bodies was released on the morning of 9/11, which is crazy, especially with the lyrics of Bodies on the Floor. Keep it light, guys. Keep it light. It's Christmas, yeah? I'm running wild, said Jonathan. What about an undefeated Okada versus Roman? I think you're missing the point. It could be an Okada that's wrapped in gold. It won't make any difference. Very few people watch New Japan, so no one knows who he is. So unless you're going to do, and you would have to do, a big build where you really introduce him, and get WWE crowds used to him, just announcing the match is not... People are just going to sit on their hands. They won't know who he is. There's a lot of people that only watch WWE. There's a lot of people that don't interact with New Japan. There's a lot of people that are only fans of WWE and they don't care about Okada and Ospreay and all the other promotions. They just enjoy watching Bianca. They enjoy watching Becky. They enjoy watching Roman. So he could be undefeated. He could be wrapped in gold. He could do lots of different things, but it's going to be irrelevant. It's not going to draw the same as The Rock is, because to a WWE audience, they know The Rock, they know Roman, they know they're related. It's a dream match. You don't need to do anything. You could just literally arrive at WrestleMania, put them in the main event, and the crowd are going to go banana. Here's the Hurricane. Hurricane has pinned Spike Dudley. Hurricane has won the hardcore title. Here's Al Snow. Al Snow's... What are all these boxes? That's surely a fire hazard. Al's a bit too late as the Hurricane has run away with the hardcore championship. We go back to ringside where we've got Jerry Lawler, Jerry the King Lawler, and Jim Ross. Sign in the background. What? We're going to keep an eye on that situation. We're going to keep an eye on that hardcore situation. What if WWE and New Japan did a joint show? Would Okada Roman main event that? I don't know. I mean, it could do, but equally isn't their champion... Jay White at the moment. I think he's been made a big deal of, so it could be Jay White. But it ain't going to happen. I'm not expecting them to be working together. Here's Kurt Angle. I've sent you a video and a photo of a blizzard. Thanks, mate. I mean, I didn't get you anything for Christmas. I feel bad now. Here's Kurt Angle then making his way down. Kurt Angle against Kane. This is just a feud. There's no titles involved here. We've had a title in every match so far, but there's no title involved in this one. And as we said, coming up after this, dare I say the iconic Undertaker versus Ric Flair match? How did you not simp for divas when you were young? Sable was the first woman to be on the cover of Playboy twice. #feminism. I've never watched. I think I was really lucky, you know. I think I was really lucky to get into wrestling when I did and not get into it during the Attitude Era. The Attitude Era just didn't do it for me. I can't stress it enough. Like, I enjoyed The Rock and I enjoyed Stone Cold, but there was plenty about the Attitude Era I just thought was dull. I mean, I think we can agree the opening of this WrestleMania has not been electric. And this, to me, is the Attitude Era. Lots of dull matches. Lots of things that I'm just not bothered by. With some incredible matches sprinkled in. You know, Kurt was a lot of fun. And obviously Stone Cold and Rock and Undertaker was killing it. And there was loads of great stuff that was happening. But this is why I don't regard it as the best era. And I got into wrestling in the early 90s when women were wrestling. You know, Alondra Blaze was a wrestler. And Bull Nakano was a wrestler. And Bertha Faye was a wrestler. She was a big... I mean, like, honestly, Bertha Faye now, she'd probably just get fat-shamed on Twitter. She was a big girl. I mean, people, like, say stuff about Doudrop. Bertha Faye's like 3 Doudrops. Here's Kane. Kane with the full mask. Yeah, so she was like several Doudrops, and they were wrestlers, you know, Sensational Sherry, Luna Vachon. All of these women were around in like the early 90s. And you got to see them compete. So I was so used to watching women wrestle. I was so used to watching women wrestle that, like, for me, when we started doing like bra and panties and I used to, I mean, I did find Jerry Lawler screaming puppies funny. I did. I thought that was fun. Jerry Lawler made those segments funny and fun, but I wanted to see women wrestle, to be honest. I was way more into China, who I was like really impressed by. I wasn't into the intergender matches, but I was into her. This is the in-between era between Attitude and Ruthless Aggression. Later this year, we would be getting the likes of Orton, Brock, Cena, Ray. Yeah, you're right. It's weird. I mean, like, it's in a way, I still class this as Attitude. Maybe I shouldn't. It does still feel Attitude era with the rock bands and all that kind of stuff. But until I think Cena comes out and introduces himself with Ruthless Aggression, like, I don't know that we really start the Ruthless Aggression era. Certainly until they arrive as well. So it is a bit in between, but it's the dying flickers. It's the dying stages of the Attitude era. Stomps coming in by Kurt Angle then. Kurt stomping away on the big red machine. Was this Attitude era? I think by the time WWE took over WCW, Attitude era was done, but Attitude was mostly about the big stories. It's a weird time. I mean, I still class this as Attitude era. A lot of people say it ends at WrestleMania 17. But then what do you class the next 12 months after that? For me, we've got like, the story is still about the invasion and WCW coming into WWE, and they try to have the war within WWE. So they compete against WCW as two companies, but then they try to compete against them with what they could scrape from WCW. They try to compete against them within the same company. And so for me, this is as I said, the 12 months that follow are the kind of dying stages of the Attitude era as things definitely change. But it feels still Attitude to me. This could be a WrestleMania with WCW still going. There's nothing here that doesn't feel like it's Attitude era with its, the backstage promo styles, the rock bands in particular, the signs and the excitement in the crowd. Like, this could totally be them in the Attitude era competing against WCW. But actually, this is a full 12 months after WCW have been bought by Vince. Clothesline by Kurt. So it's one that will be debated for many, many years. Kick coming in by Kurt again as Kane is down, stomping him on the head. Don't forget that we've got Undertaker against Ric Flair coming up next. And that's the end then of like the first part, and then we go into the final part, the second part, as we which includes Rock and Hogan, not as the main event, not as the final match, but like I think it's about third match from the end, which is mental. Big shot coming in by Kurt, and that's obviously the main reason for watching this. I agree, Attitude Era wasn't as good, but wouldn't you say that Lita really wrestled? Oh, yeah, I mean, there was definitely people that wrestled. There was definitely women, but it's not as many as there's not loads of women's wrestlers during the Attitude Era. I mean, nothing compared to today. And really the focus, when you talk about women in the Attitude Era, any women's wrestling matches were sort of throwaway. They were short, and they were, I mean, if you think about China at 17, I mean, China's matches, I mean, it's next to no time in it, is there? So you had the likes of Ivory, Lita was around, Trish was around, but I don't know that Trish had quite got going during the Attitude Era. I think she gets going a little bit after it. I think she's on this show, actually. So if we are counting this, then I suppose she She is competing at that time. I think certainly as we get towards the end of the Attitude Era, we start to see women wrestling. But I think if we're looking 98, 99, 2000, then it can be slim pickings. But yeah, there's definitely some women in there. It's not like there are no women's wrestling matches, but it's few and far between. Kick to the midsection by Kane. If we talk about this era, we're talking about bra and panty matches, aren't we? If Twitter was around for WrestleMania 18, they would push for Rock and Hogan to main event, said Austin. Oh, yeah. Well, they should have, to be honest. I mean, it's only politics that stopped them from doing it. Triple H, I can understand Triple H's thought process, actually. I'm not going to go too hard on him. I do wonder if there was maybe a little bit of, because he is the one in the match. He said the WWE Championship should always main event. WWE title should always main event. And I actually don't disagree with that. I do understand. The only problem is if you've got a match that is so monumental. I mean, this isn't just a normal match, is it? This is historic. This, even at the time, I mean, now, then, forever, together, we all know that this is one of the great matches in WrestleMania history. It didn't even matter if the match stunk the place out. You know, it's like Hogan-Andre. Hogan-Andre is not an amazing match. The match itself is not that great, but I would say there is no bigger match than Hogan-Andre. I put Hogan-Andre above everything. There's not a single match that you can name that I would say is bigger than Hogan-Andre. Just that moment where you get the face-to-face, to me, is wrestling. It's the biggest. It's the pinnacle. It's if someone was to say, like, what is wrestling, and we got an alien that came down, my first thought would be to show them Hogan-Andre. Red hot babyface, red hot heel, electric crowds, 90-odd thousand in attendance, undefeated Andre the Giant, never been slammed. Of course, both of those things not true, but that was part of the story. And then you've got Hulkamania. I mean, Hulkamania, just red hot, just so good. The story was so good. And even though the match is just not that great, it don't matter. It's funny, innit? I mean, back then, that it really didn't matter because people believed in what they were watching. So it didn't matter that Hogan-Andre was not that great. Oh. It didn't matter because it was more about who was going to win. It was more about who gets the victory. Can Hogan do it? That's all it is. Watching people struggling to get moves or moves not quite coming off or the moves not being that impressive, absolutely irrelevant. It was all about the result. It was all about who gets the job done, who wins. Is Andre going to win? Is Andre going to kill Hulkamania? Oh, that was good by Kurt. Kurt was just slammed down. He gets his hand onto the bottom rope, just flicks his wrist onto the bottom rope. And he manages to avoid being pinned. Little bit, you know, of underarm hair on Kane. A little bit of fluff underneath the arm, which you don't tend to see on wrestlers. Trying to pick him up. Lovely. Kurt Angle slam. 1, 2. Oh. Good. Good. Feels like the best match so far, this one. I actually don't know what Meltzer's given this. Let's have a look. See if what Meltzer says. Yeah, Meltzer gives this 2.25. So Meltzer doesn't love it, but he reckons this is the best match so far. 2 stars for Rob Van Dam, William Regal. 1.75 for Christian against DDP. Maven against Goldust got minus 0.5, and I think we can see why. And Kurt Angle, Kane, 2.5. I can tell you that Ric Flair, Undertaker gets 3 stars. 3 stars for the next one, which might not sound that great, but it is the best that we will have had so far tonight. We've got the ankle lock being applied here as Kane's trying to get over to that bottom rope. He reaches out and gets the bottom rope. Kurt Angle has still got this ankle lock applied. Lovely enziguri. Lovely work there by Kane as Kurt Angle goes down. Meltzer gave Buck 7 stars. Edwards, Merry Christmas, buds. Oh, Merry Christmas. Same to Joey as well. And Charles Dubronx. I hope everyone has a fantastic Christmas. I can tell you that it is 7 minutes past midnight here in the UK. It is Christmas Day. Nice. We've got Kane going up top. Kurt's met him. Lovely work. Kurt Angle grabbing Kane, hurling him down. Kurt trying to get over to the corner. So Kane is down. Bang. So he's trying to grab Kane. He's managed to grab him, pick him up. Nope, lands on his feet. Kane looking for the choke slam. Picks up Kurt. Roll through by Kurt. He's going to use the ropes. 1, 2. Oh, he does use the ropes, but he only gets... And they give the 3. I don't remember that. I remember him using the ropes. I don't remember him getting the 3 that way. Well, he's getting out of there, and it's questionable. It's a win for Kurt. And Kane is rightfully furious. Rightfully furious. So Kurt gets the win. We are backstage. We got the Hurricane. He's got that Hardcore Championship. Looks really good, by the way. It's a great belt. So Ric Flair, Undertaker coming up next. Got some of the women. Some of the ladies. Hurricane having a little peep. Ladies of, I think he's gone into the ladies' changing room. They've started to... Oh, they're screaming. Look, they can't believe it. Okay, so we got Hurricane. We've got Godfather chasing them away. These poor girls. They just started to undress. Unbelievable. Right, Undertaker. Ric Flair. No disqualification match. WrestleMania 18. I wonder who wins this one. Kane is a unique physical specimen and talent, said Charles Dubronx. Kian, Merry Christmas. They were in a state of undress. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. Actually, don't know the age rating on this show, you know. I have no idea what the age rating is. I want you in the ring at WrestleMania. He calls him out. I want to see what kind of man you are. Apparently this is one that Rick really struggled with. He really struggled with, like, getting up for this, and Undertaker had to, like, constantly reassure him, like, you're Ric Flair, you know? So, yeah, this was cool. This is when he goes after David, Ric Flair's son. See, this was great when they were doing stuff like this. You don't really see this now. Although we did have, do you remember Seth breaking into Edge's house? We did get that, but he didn't do anything. He broke into his house, had a little look around. I think he picked up an apple or something, chucked that. That was it. Ric Flair So he went after his oldest son, attacked Ric Flair's oldest son. Bang. And he hits that fan. Apparently, I heard that fan. So in the build-up to WrestleMania, Ric Flair swings and tries to hit a fan. Or tries to hit Undertaker, but hits a fan. The fan that he hits is Paul London. Obviously, it was planned. It was a plant. There's Linda. Go on, Linda. Merry Christmas, Linda. Ding dong. Will the streak get to 10? Good question. Good question. It says it's a 15 rating. Guys, you need to be 15. If you're not 15, then you can stay in the chat, but you can't watch this show. And also, you can't listen to me telling you what's happening because you're not old enough. Make them humble, said Mark. Days loves Linda. Everyone loves Linda. I think everyone loves Linda even more now after everything that poor woman has been put through. I've been saying for a long time she was a victim and no one was listening to me. Well, look what happened. WWE Network was prime back in 2015, said Sal. Here's The Undertaker. Obviously, American Badass. Keep rolling, 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 rolling. Undertaker then about to make his way down on a bike. I was never the biggest fan of him being human, but I say being human, but being like, you know, more normal. Let's put it that way. I was never the biggest fan of this change in his character, but I think for this era, it probably was needed. But Yanni, shout out to you. If Linda crosses face, she'll meet Glenda, said Chill Dudes. Have you heard about Stefan Bonnet? Yeah, I can't believe it. I haven't heard how it's happened or any details, but awful news. We just heard earlier. Yeah, awful. I thought Biker Undertaker gave him a bit more to do, said List of Jericho. I think it took a bit of the magic away, dare I say. I mean, it's still The Undertaker. He's still a legend. I think this is just another part of my struggle with this era, was that loved The Undertaker, loved him in the, like, you know, since the early 90s. It was, sometimes it's hard to kind of go with the changes, but I got it. I understood. Here's Ric Flair making his way down. Ric Flair obviously would retire, 6 years after this at 24? Kind of. Kind of. Flair jumping in the ring. Ric Flair unloading on The Undertaker, and we are underway. Big shot coming in as Taker goes out the ring. Big right hand coming back. Right hand there by Ric Flair. And they both go over the commentary table. As big shots come down by the Nature Boy. That dude at ringside is like, go on, Rick. Woo! Look at this. Jerry Lawler standing by the commentary table as Ric Flair and The Undertaker brawl right in front of him, and JR as well. I mean, it's just flipping Legends Row, isn't it? I mean, Jerry Lawler, one of the biggest names in the wrestling history. Ric Flair, arguably the biggest. Undertaker, the biggest WWE creation. And then JR, maybe the best commentator ever. Those four together on camera. What a moment. Big shots coming in. Ric Flair. Bang. Undertaker goes through that bottom rope. Undertaker selling like a trooper for Ric Flair. This was something Undertaker really wanted. He idolized Ric Flair. And this was a match he really wanted. Rick launching himself at Undertaker. Undertaker catching him, driving him into the ring post. Flair goes down. Undertaker coming over, grabbing Rick's hair. Bang! Big shot as Flair goes down. Grabs Rick, slowly bringing him over to the ring steps. Head first, Ric Flair goes into those ring steps. I'm going to say that 18 is underrated, said Ryan. Richard said it's like the good old days. When will a toy hunt resurface? We did one about 2 weeks ago, Sal. So there was one about 2 weeks ago. There will be more in 2023, but no plans to do any yet. Although I do want to get Elite 100 Andre, so definitely on the lookout for that. So yeah, there will be some coming in early 2023. Undertaker grabbing Rick, hurling Rick into the corner. Big body shots coming in. Big strikes as Ric Flair goes down in the corner. Undertaker, bang, headbutt into Rick. UFC Hall of Famer. 2021 saw GSP, John Jones, Royce Gracie, Baz Rutten on the same stage for GOATs, says Charles de Bronx. Would you say WWE would be better if Undertaker was the egg instead? Would Mania have the same excitement without a streak, no locker room leader or wrestler's court? WrestleMania would, well, in all fairness, WrestleMania, I can't remember when we get to the streak. Is it, when does he count it out? Is it 19 that he first does that? There's one where Undertaker counts out all of his WrestleMania wins and they make a thing out of it. So actually the streak isn't a thing until we get to like 11 or so. Like 11 wins for him, like WrestleMania 19. So I think you could definitely make an argument that the WrestleManias in the 20s wouldn't be as big if it wasn't for the streak. I mean, for me, you know, WrestleMania like 24 when he's taking on Edge, 25 with Shawn, 26 with Shawn, 27 with Triple H, 28 with Triple H, 29 with Cena. Like those shows wouldn't feel as big without the streak. But no, I mean, look, if he'd have come out the egg, that'd be a real rubbish way to have debuted him. Certainly if he was the Undertaker, why would he come out of an egg? So, no, it would have been awful. But there was never any plans to do that. That was something he was worried about. He was worried about being Eggman. And obviously the egg gave birth to Gobbledygooker at Survivor Series 1990. Shot coming in there by Undertaker. So I would say, would it be better if he came out the egg? No, definitely not. Would WrestleMania have lost Summit without the streak? Yes, but probably only the WrestleManias in the 20s. Bang. Would you be excited if they had Messi versus Ronaldo, or would it offend you? No. Do you know what? I'm all right with celebrities if taking on other celebrities. If you do Messi versus Ronaldo, like, it's going to be a horrific, rubbish match, and it's probably going to be dangerous. But it's two people fighting to prove they're the better person. We've said before, like, to me, this is real. This is two people battling to be the best. So Messi versus Ronaldo would be an incredible draw. I mean, so many people would tune into that. But would it be a good match? No, it would be horrific. Would it be safe? Probably not. Would it offend me? Nope. It's not really anything to offend me, is it? Where I struggle is when a celebrity comes in and then starts doing really well against a trained wrestler. Like, these wrestlers are meant to be the best of the best. They're meant to be the pinnacle. They're meant to be gods. Like, they're meant to know all these moves, and they're meant to be this amazing, untouchable, the best, you know. They're like Muhammad Ali. They're Lennox Lewis. They're the Klitschko's. They are the best of the best. They're the Tyson Furies of the wrestling world. The idea that a celebrity can get in there and even compete with these people is offensive to me. That's offensive to me. And it should be offensive to more people as well, in my opinion. But it doesn't appear to be. I appear to be in a bit of a raft on my own on that one. So that's where the Bad Bunny stuff bothers me, because Bad Bunny, who, to my knowledge, has got no previous fighting like skills or experience, can step in and start mugging off the Miz and start, do you know what I mean, hitting Canadian destroyers on wrestlers and everything. It's like, what are we doing? You know, back in the day, that's not what we did. Back in the day, celebrities used to accompany wrestlers to the ring. They used to be there, but they weren't in the ring. You know, you would only have someone like, say, Mr. T would be in there. But Mr. T was jacked. You got to remember, Mr. T wasn't some singer. He was known as the big, strong guy on one of the most popular TV shows at the time. So he had, like, big muscles. He was jacked. He was seen as, like, this big beast of a man. And so him getting involved was a little more believable. But even Roddy Piper famously hated working with Mr. T, didn't think that celebrities should be in the ring. And there was big concerns. That's a massive superplex. Big concerns that Roddy was going to shoot on Mr. T. Big concerns that Roddy was going to make Mr. T look like an absolute fool. More so at WrestleMania 2 when they put them both in a boxing match. They had to, I've said this before, they had to actually tape Roddy's fists together and then put the boxing glove on, because that makes it like a bit harder to like really get some pop in your punches. If your fists are already taped together, it's hard to like get the same amount of power in your hands. They had to do that because they were so worried that Roddy was going to actually knock out, for real, Mr. T, because Roddy was, I think, a Golden Gloves champion. And he hated the fact that celebrities were in the ring, didn't think that it was respectful, and hated Mr. T as a result. And I think he just hated Mr. T anyway. And so they taped his fists together. Honestly, wrestling history, it's pretty fun. Jaden, shout out to you. Appreciate the support, my friend. Merry Christmas. Leg drop. I tell you what, we've had some big spots here. And of course, we've got Ric Flair busted open. Ric Flair busted open, blood pouring down his face. So we've got the crimson mask. Of course, that's why Flair liked to have the blonde hair, so that the blood went into the hair. Massive superplex, big kicks on the outside. And look at that. Ric Flair was done. He was down. He was pinned, and Undertaker yanks him up. Undertaker pulls him up. Got coming in there by Undertaker. And again, pounding away on Ric Flair. We'll see in the photographers at ringside as well. Don't tend to see so much of those, but there are photographers at ringside, but they tend to be right up against the barricades or really in the background. Here, look, it's about several just around the edge of the ring. Bang, big right hand. Ric Flair goes down. Undertaker in control. Ric Flair busted open. He's got Ric Flair's blood on his face. He's being quite slow and methodical. Oh, elbow drop there by Undertaker as Ric Flair rolls out the way. I'm surprised Ric Flair didn't wrestle more often in white. You'd think it would make sense for him to wrestle in white for the same reason that he has white hair, that the blood would go onto his ring gear and that it would stain his ring gear. Big strikes coming back. Flair goes down. This whole Mania is like weird WWF versus WCW Dream Card. Flair versus Taker, Booker versus Edge, Rock versus Hogan, Austin versus Hall, DDP versus Christian. It's true. It's just, I think we're past the invasion angle at this point, so it's not really billed. Well, it's not billed as WWF versus WCW. We're a full 12 months after WCW has gone out of business. So it's not billed that way. But it is true. Yeah, it is very WCW, WWF. You could maybe make the argument this is the WrestleMania that we should have got for 17 when WCW gets bought by Vince. Like, this is the show we should have got then. Instead, they couldn't do it then, and so we end up getting it 12 months later. Shame Sting never came in. Imagine Sting on this show. Over the chop coming in there by Ric Flair. And again, Ric Flair starting to come back into this match. Big right hand as Undertaker spills to the outside. Apparently, I've seen on WWE on Fox, Seth has won Workhorse of the Year. And Cody versus Seth Hell in a Cell is Match of the Year. Is that like the WWE on Fox Awards or something? Here's Flair with the lead pipe, and he wallops Undertaker with it. Of course, there is no DQ, so it's all perfectly acceptable. The dirtiest player in the game, but he's allowed to be in this match. Undertaker gets up right in front of the camera. And again with that lead pipe, Ric Flair. Coming over, shot to the midsection there of the Dead Man. Dead Man driving Ric Flair into the edge of the ring. He's got Ric Flair by his hair. Got coming in there by Undertaker. Hurling Ric Flair head first into the entranceway. Blood coming down the, I don't know if that's Undertaker blood or Ric Flair bloods. There's a sign that says keep off, a metal keep off sign. Bang over the head of the Dead Man. Across the back as well. Undertaker heading towards the ring. Another shot coming in by Ric Flair. Throws that sign away. Can you do a video reviewing this year in wrestling, what you've enjoyed, and a preview for 2023? We might do that. I really don't know, to be honest. We did the World Cup. Then, obviously, after the World Cup, there's been a bit of a weird week until we get to Christmas. Then we've got a bit of a weird week after Christmas. I can't say I've, planned any videos or planned to do anything. So, I don't know. I really don't know if we'll get around to doing that. I mean, I do probably need to start thinking about videos and start thinking about content for the channel. But to be honest, I've just been after the World Cup. It's just been very much do the final streams and then we get to Christmas. So we'll see. The only thing I don't understand about no DQ matches is why people don't come down more and help more. Am I missing something? No. The only thing I would say is that ideally, if you can win clean, you would probably want to win clean. And it's a case of, there's plenty of people that do get involved in no DQ matches. I actually think, and I've said this before, I really think there should be a rule whereby if you get involved in any match, even a no DQ match, it should be that you get suspended or there should be some repercussion. It doesn't make much sense to me as to why WWE are quite happy for so much outside interference. And it's so easily resolved as well. Rather than it happening and then you constantly throwing people from ringside and getting upset with people, just put a rule in place. Just put a rule in place whereby if you do interfere, you get suspended. I'm pretty sure that would clean it up. If you got a month's suspension, a month without pay, I'm pretty sure a vast majority of people would then start thinking twice about interfering. The other thing as well is if you did that, it would mean any time that someone interfered, they must really have needed to have interfered. Like, it must have been really important, because that's a month's suspension without pay. So, like, all of a sudden then it matters more and it means more. So I actually think it would be better for wrestling if you was to put that rule in place. And then it would also help explain why people don't come down during no DQ matches and whatever. But to be honest, I mean, look, Ric Flair's going to want to try and beat The Undertaker if he can. Undertaker's going to want to beat Ric Flair if he can. They're not going to want to rely on people. They're both proud wrestlers that believe they're the best or the better man. Against the ropes goes Undertaker. But there's Arn. Dirtiest player in the game. 1, 2, and kick out by the dead man. Undertaker kicks out. And he wallops on. Days, who would win the match for the undisputed tag titles? Me and my son versus the Usos. I've got to go with the Usos, buds. I think they've got the pedigree. They've got the history. I think they've got the experience. But I do wish you and your son a very Merry Christmas, Gordon. Even though I don't think you would win the undisputed tag titles. As I usually say with logic in wrestling, it's because it's a work, says Ryan. The other day I watched Glass Onions and Knives Out Mystery. It's good. And Daniel Craig is in it, says Sonny. I've got a list of things I want to watch. I made a quick little list. I might go through that in a sec. Big chair shots here. Little dig to the midsection. Ric Flair, another chair shot. Been several chair shots here. Big boot by the dead man. So, big kick, Ric Flair down. So, Undertaker in control. Almost at an hour and a half now, you know. So, looking for a big... Looked like he was going for a power bomb, but can't quite get Rick up. He goes for it again. Flair able to just get out of it, but Undertaker says no. Instead, looks for the tombstone. Tombstone pile driver. Bang! And there you go. 1, 2, 3. Ric Flair loses. Undertaker wins. Thanks to the tombstone pile driver. Undertaker record 10-0. Woo! That fan has been counting. Is this where he counts it? Big clothesline. Down goes the ref. Undertaker should be fined and suspended, says JR, for knocking down the ref. Undertaker stepping through the ropes. Ah, there it is. There it is. 10-0. So I think this is the first year that it gets counted. Undertaker wins. Aubrey Edwards dancing on Brazil's grave says Undertaker jumps over the ropes better than Top Dollar. Listen, Ric Flair today can get over the top rope better than Top Dollar. Undertaker on his bike. Keep rolling. Last rides. I think about this time is when they realized the streak was a thing, said Ryan. Here is Booker. Michael Cole. Look at Michael Cole with his goatee. I've got glasses, haven't I? So, as you said, that's sort of the end of the first part. What was the star rating of that? It was 3 according to Meltzer. So no DQ match. Ric Flair versus Undertaker, 3 stars. It's the highest rated part of the first section. This next section though is fire. Like we are into a really good part of the show now because we go to Edge against Booker T. We go to Stone Cold against Scott Hall. We go to Billy and Chuck against Dudley Boys, against Hardy Boys, against the APA for the tag titles. Then you've got Rock and Hogan. Then you've got Lita, Jazz, and Trish. And then we've got our main event. So we've got a couple of hours left to go. Couple of hours left in this show. And we've got a fair few matches, but there's a lot of fun stuff still to come. So we are just seeing inside the Sky Dome as people are sat at tables watching in some of the boxes in the Hard Rock Calf. Here is Booker. I wonder how you got into the Hard Rock Calf. Like the Hard Rock Calf was actually in like some of the boxes around the edge of the stadium, the arena. I wonder if you just popped in for a meal and then went back to your seat, or could you book a table in the Hard Rock Calf, do you think? I wonder how that worked. Here's Booker then. I would like to extend to you my holiday log this Christmas Eve. It'll keep you warm at night. Thank you. Appreciate that, William. I hope you have a great Christmas, buds. And it would be great if you would let the hostages go for Christmas. Merry Christmas Eve, said Humble Rumble. Merry Christmas Eve. Christmas Day here in the UK. It's 40 minutes past midnight right now. I know it's a long time ago, but what were your thoughts about what Anthony did showboating against Sheriff? He said he'll never stop doing that. And there was a lot of outrage over it. I don't really mind. I mean, he's Brazilian. I think some of that flair is what makes them what they are, to be honest. I mean, for me, it's just like, if it's skill. I mean, I do remember ESPN talking about it, saying that it wasn't even that impressive. Like, if it was going to be impressive, then maybe you'd be a bit more into it. But it wasn't. It didn't even look that good. But I think, like, you know, that flair, that exuberance, that's a very Brazilian thing. So I personally don't mind it. I didn't think it looked very good. I didn't think it was that impressive. And if the end result is that you're going to like not be able to create something from it and lose the ball, then I can understand why Ten Hag would have an issue. So I think if you're going to do it, you better do it good. Otherwise, you're going to be open to criticism. Ryan said, I know they feuded, but I think Edge Christian should have happened at this Mania, says Ryan. How many Christmases in your life have you given 10 out of 10? I don't know, you know. I can't say I've rated them or even remember them. I couldn't tell you what happened in, like, certain Christmases. Not a clue. Not a clue. I honestly, not a clue. I couldn't go, if you said, like, how was Christmas 07? I ain't got a clue. How was Christmas 2010? I don't know. Probably the most recent ones I can remember probably only go back to about 2016. Probably about the past 6 years are probably the ones I remember. It's not even because I've been drinking loads or anything that I can't remember them. I just got an awful memory. Dropkick by Edge. Botch Dollar, said Aubrey Edwards. They're fighting over shampoo. That sign is in the crowd, isn't it? Because this was to do with a shampoo advert. And so this was going to be a hair versus hair match, but it ended up being changed when Booker, I think, knew he was likely going to lose. And so he didn't want to lose his hair. But yeah, this is to do with like a shampoo advert. And that's kind of how this match came about. A couple of guys walking in the background with E and C signs. As Edge on the outside, Booker comes down and big shot to the back of Edge. Booker T throwing Edge back into the ring as Booker T climbs up the ring steps, climbs up in the corner, perched, missile drop kick. Nice work as Edge goes down. 1, 2, shoulder up. I actually don't know how long this match goes for. I know that Dave Meltzer's not crazy about it, though. Dave Meltzer scores this one 1.25 stars. 1.25 stars. Second worst match. Second worst match that we will have had so far tonight. 1.25 stars. So he's not crazy about it, but it definitely features some big names. Kicks coming in by Booker. Stomping away. Zach Gowen only had one leg and could dive over the top rope better than Top Dollar, said James. A great storyline over Japanese shampoo, said Ryan. But I need some random Christmas snacks, said Dortnight. Gets the ropes up in the air. Boom! Gets planted down. Edge is down 1, 2. Shoulder up. Booker can't believe it. Crowd a bit quiet for this one, you know. Crowd aren't really feeling this. Booker is climbing up. And Edge knocks the ropes. Booker goes down. Gets caught onto that top rope. There's a sign in the crowd that says, "We're on our honeymoon." Big shot coming in. I'm just trying to read some of the signs as they get put up. Edge is up top. Oh, botchy. Went for the Hurricanrana. Booker T, though, didn't actually get any distance. So Hurricanrana, he actually ends up falling on top of Edge. Didn't go well, that for Edge. Didn't go well at all. Booker getting up to his feet. Edge on his feet as well. Goes for a shot, but Booker fires a shot back. Edge going against the ropes. Duck underneath by Edge. Nice spin kick. Gets up. Ooh, vicious clothesline. Edge again with a big clothesline. Down goes Booker. Booker going against the ropes. Knee to the midsection by Booker. Against the ropes again, looking for a kick. Oh, Booker goes down. 2. Kick out. Kick out. The Dallas Cowboys they were losing the last time I checked. Oh, have you got football today, have you? We've got I don't think there was any sport here in the UK today. There might have been something somewhere. But there was no Premier League. That comes back on Boxing Day. Shoulder up by Booker. But this day, I remember watching the show with a black box and taping it on 2 VHS tapes. Really? 1. Yeah, VHS tapes tended to go for, I think you could get, was it 3 hours max? So this was over 3 hours, so it would be a 2-taper. Looking for a spear. Oh, collides into the corner. Kick there by Booker. So Edge is down. Do you remember when you used to get tapes of The Simpsons? They would only have about 4 episodes on them. It's mental, innit? It's mental. If you think about like the fact you can get full series sets now, like DVD wise, with on a few DVDs. Actually don't know how much content a DVD can hold, but I know videotapes were 3 hours, something like that. But yeah, you used to be able to get Simpsons videos and they would hold about 4 episodes and that was it. Still here, I'm just getting the kids' Christmas present, said rainbows and unicorns. Edge. 1, 2. Kick out by Booker. I went for 2 hours on each tape, so it was even, says Ryan. Makes sense. Makes sense. I would probably cut it after the Undertaker match. and then like do the rest on the other one. But then saying that, I probably would have run out of tape thinking about it. Oh, he's doing an Edge-a-Rooney. Edge-a-Rooney. Booker with a kick, but here's Edge. Oh, lovely knee strike. Kick to the midsection. Plants him down. 1, 2, 3, and Edge gets the win. Edge gets the win. I mean, it was botchy at times. Crowd were very quiet. Didn't seem to be feeling it. The build for it was a bit weird anyway. Edge in Canada picks up the victory. I think he would have wanted that match to have been better, to be honest. He was in the crowd at WrestleMania 6 when it was Hogan against Ultimate Warrior. Think about that. Think about that. Hulk Hogan against Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 6 at the Sky Dome. And then you fast forward 12 years, it's Hogan against Rock at the Sky Dome. Here's Coach having a word with the Hurricane. Hurricane with his hardcore championship. What's up with that? Here's Molly Holly. Bang! Molly Holly walloping him with a frying pan. And Molly Holly gets the hardcore title from the Hurricane. Mighty Molly. Stone Cold. Scott Hall. WrestleMania 18. 8 years after Razor Ramon versus Shawn Michaels in that ladder match. Stone Cold versus Scott Hall. The poison of the NWO. It's amazing this wasn't higher up the card, isn't it? Stone Cold was really upset with where he was on this card. And actually, I heard walked out of WWE for 2 weeks after WrestleMania. He was so frustrated with how he was being booked and how he was being positioned. I mean, you can understand it, can't you? Because, I mean, you look at, like, the poster and it's all Rock Hogan. There's no Stone Cold against Scott Hall on there. I want you to be humiliated. I want you to be embarrassed. I had a dream about Molly Holly once, said William. It wasn't a wet dream. It was a little moist, but not for the reasons that you might think. Okay, well, I don't want to think about it at all, to be honest. Ryan said, it's a shame Hall and Austin weren't both in the best mental states around this time. This feud could have been really good. Robert said, a lethal dose. Vince injecting a lethal dose of poison into WWE. And that was the NWO. Here we go then. Dun, dun, dun. Stone Cold making his way down to the ring. The Texas Rattlesnake. Brilliant. Merry Blissmas, everyone. Alexa Bliss Gamer, Merry Blissmas to you as well. Hope you get lots of Alexa Bliss goodies for Christmas. Stone Cold versus Hall was the best to ever wear the belt against the best to never wear the belt, said Steve. That's an interesting way of looking at it. That's a really interesting way of looking at it. Scott Hall is obviously representing the NWO here. He's going to have Kevin Nash with him. Apparently, they didn't book Kevin Nash onto this show because they were so worried that Scott Hall might not be able to actually do this match because he was in such a bad state that they kind of kept Kevin Nash as like a standby, a replacement if needed. I mean, it is true. Nothing about this match is really being booked at the best time for either guy. Alcohol fueled, written on the back of. I don't think we've ever had that as a Mattel figure. Bow, 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 bow. NWO coming down at WrestleMania. Bow, bow. And here is Scott Hall. Wrestle with Andy, hello. Shout out to you. Do you think we should have gotten Hogan Austin instead of Hogan Rock? I feel Hogan Austin are the two biggest stars in wrestling history. I mean, I feel like we should have got that match. I'm all right with not getting it here because I'm all right with us getting The Rock. I mean, The Rock's such a great talker that him against Hogan. I mean, who doesn't want to see that match? But yeah, I mean, you would want Austin and Hogan at some point as well, like at WrestleMania. The thing was, I think they did want that match, but I don't know that Austin didn't want to put Hogan over. He didn't want to put Hogan over, and I think he was reluctant, thinking that Hogan wouldn't do the job for Stone Cold. And so there's been talk about like them. I don't think Stone Cold liked Hogan. I don't think there was any respect there. And he certainly wasn't going to put him over if he was going to be asked to do that. So would I have preferred it? I don't know that I would have preferred it, but I would have liked it as an addition, you know? I would have liked it as well. Wow, wow. I love when Nash walks down. You can see clear as day Austin say, "What the F is that?" Strike coming in by Austin. Linda Hogan or Linda McMahon? Oh, it's Linda McMahon all day long, twice on a Sunday. Dave's going to have fun with Linda when the stream is over. Honestly, since Vince lost his job, she doesn't respond anymore, to be honest. She won't. She used to hit me up all the time. She used to be my booty call, but not anymore. She just can't get away because he's always at home. He's always around. When he used to work all the time, it was a lot easier. Against the ropes goes Scott Hall. Oh, Fez press. Big shots coming in. Scott Hall down. Against the ropes goes Stone Cold. And dragging Scott Hall over to the corner, into the turnbuckle, smashing him face first into that turnbuckle. I still prefer HBK selling Hogan's moves, said James. Rob said, did you hear about Stephen Bonham? It did. Awful news. Awful news. I don't know what's happened or how he's passed away. I don't know. But yeah, awful. What's the highest rated match at WrestleMania 18? I'll have a look. Highest rated match is 3 stars. 3 stars. Rock and Hogan get 3 stars. So Rock versus Hulk Hogan get 3 stars from Meltzer. Chris Jericho, Triple H also get 3 stars. And Ric Flair, Undertaker get 3 stars. So 3 stars is sadly the highest that we go. This match gets 1 star from Meltzer. He's not feeling it. Pin there and kick out by Stone Cold. Ryan said, I still say it should have been Hall and Nash against Austin. Then they could have gone over and made it believable. Aubrey Edwards said, Days is smashing Linda McMahon confirmed. Was, not is. It's was. Wasn't Nash injured during WrestleMania 17? I don't know. I mean, he wasn't in at 17. So he could have been injured at that time, but he wasn't in WWE at that time. Strikes coming in by Stone Cold. Stone Cold going into the corner, and he goes down. Exposed turnbuckle. As Nash took the turnbuckle off, Stone Cold goes into it. It gets dumped to the outside by Scott Hall. Big shot coming in by Kevin Nash. Nash grabbing a hold of Stone Cold on the outside, getting involved. Big shot. Referee Tim White having a word as Scott Hall jumps out the ring. Grabbing a hold of Stone Cold. Big shot coming in as Stone Cold stumbles on the outside into the ring. Goes Stone Cold. Scott Hall coming back in after him. Kick coming into the midsection. Grabbing a hold of Stone Cold. Hurling him over into the corner. Oh, big clothesline. Followed up. And again, that's nice. Aubrey Edwards said, anyone that still listens to Meltzer is an AEW fan and they want to be all elites. Lister Jericho said, Raw is a clip show on Monday. We're still doing it. I might even set it up after this so that people know that we're definitely here on Monday for that show. Even though it's a clip show, it should still be some fun. Looking forward to that. Be nice, actually, to just have a look back at the year and see some of the moments that WWE have pulled out as being the best. See if there's anything that they've missed. I think it's going to have, looking at the preview of it, the video package of it, I think it's going to have a lot of clips from pay-per-views. I think it's going to be quite a few premium live events. We might even be watching Brock against Roman again from SummerSlam, which was a lot of fun in all fairness. Meltzer is a smeghead, said James. Would Hogan have put over Stone Cold like he did The Rock? I really don't know. I don't know, because I think Stone Cold's a bit different. Stone Cold is the guy, really. I don't know that there's anyone that would say The Rock was bigger than Stone Cold. There's plenty of people that say that they preferred The Rock, but I don't know that anyone would say The Rock was a bigger star. Like, Stone Cold generated more money for WWE. He was really the face of WWE. The Rock's right up there, but it does feel like Stone Cold is just that bit further ahead. I think it's different having a match with The Rock than it would have been having a match against Stone Cold. So I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know that he would have put over Stone Cold. The fans turn on The Rock and they cheer. Hogan, said Knight Rider. Would they have done the same with Hogan and Stone Cold? I think so, because I think they would, because I mean, don't forget Stone Cold has been a heel. I mean, at the end of 17, he turns heel. His heel run is very underwhelming. Hence why his place on this card is not, where you would expect Stone Cold to be. And he was not happy with his booking. He was not in a great place at this time. He's not happy with how he's being used at this time. As we said, after WrestleMania, he actually walks out for 2 weeks. He's not a happy boy. So I think that the crowds were so pleased to see Hogan back in WWE, kind of back home where he belongs. They were so desperate for Hulkamania and to relive that and that nostalgia of that I think they would have. So we get Nash coming in, walloping Stone Cold. The referee is down on the outside. He gets dragged out the ring. Scott Hall jumping out, grabbing a chair, chucking the chair into the ring. Stone Cold he's got a full Nelson and kick to the midsection. Low blow. Looking for a stunner. Kick to Nash. Stunner on Nash. NWO getting stunned by Stone Cold. He's going for the cover, but of course there is no ref. Crowder counting it. And we've got a lovely slides Lovely slide by the replacement ref. That's sick, that is. That must be so much fun to do. Running down, full pelt, down the entranceway, diving into the ring, sliding, stopping just perfectly as well. 1, 2. No joy. That slide is beautiful. Beautiful work by the replacement ref. I went to Wendy's today about 5. When I came home, I panicked. I thought I'd locked myself out. Sonny, shout out to you. I hope you're having. I hope you have a nice, relaxing Christmas. We've got right. We've got plenty of refs that have come down now. They're trying to get Nash away from ringside. Hall is on his knees on the outside of the ring. We've already seen the ref sliding his way in. Rumor is Brock and Cody are set for the January 2nd Raw. That Raw should be big. That's a week. Well, this Monday. They're seemingly trying to make the SmackDown on the 30th and the Raw on the 2nd really big shows. Big strikes coming in here by Stone Colds. Hurls Scott Hall into the ring. Scott Hall getting up, kick to the midsection. Stone Cold again. Stunner. Stunner by Hall. Tim White coming in. What's taking long to... Why is he getting all the way over? I suppose he's got to see the shoulders, isn't he? And shoulder up by Stone Cold. Tim White got in the ring, climbed over the wrestlers, got to a position to count, and then that allowed Stone Cold to get his shoulder up. Kick to midsection. Ooh, into the corner. Boom, another stunner. A second one. Oh, I sold that like a super trooper. 1, 2, 3, and Stone Cold wins. What? Cold! Stone Cold! Dun, 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 dun. Fox complained. USA complained. Fox got Cena. Now they got Brock and Cody, said Chill Dudes. Knight Rider said, didn't Stone Cold would give Santa a Stone Cold Stunner? Yes. Was this Scott Hall's last match? Don't think so. He is gone later this year, but I don't believe this is his last match. Should say on that, there's a great cage side database thing. Should say on there. Actually, do you know what? I'll have a look on there because I don't know what his last match is. Not just in WWE, but in general. Ricochet ended up with 6 stitches and a lump on his head after the Miracle on 34th Street fights. There we go. Dun, dun, dun. Lacey Evans will start destroying the women's division next Friday. Dun, 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 dun. I was just reading some of the stuff on this Cage Side website. Cage Side Database. I'm sure it's called Cage Side Database. Yeah, the wrestling database. Cage Match. Cage Match. Scott Hall. Yeah, if you've never been on it, go on it. It's called Cage Match, the internet wrestling database. It's brilliant. Okay, so his last match was 2016. Scott Hall defeating Chuck Taylor for the DDT Iron Man Heavy Metal title. That was the 17th of June, 2016. That's Scott Hall's last match. His last match in WWE is... Jeez Louise. TNA. There's a lot of TNA, of course. WWC. Raw. Okay, it looks like Raw. on the 5th of June. Bradshaw, Ric Flair, and Stone Cold versus the NWO, which was Hall, Big Show, and X-Pac. Oh, we're at Access? I wish when I went to WrestleMania they had this. So look at Access. It's massive. This is cool. I love these little glimpses. Someone playing on a PlayStation. Now we're seeing some Andre boots. There's a motorcycle. There's Trish signing someone's program. There's Stone Cold's. Coming out to a big reaction. Michael Cole calling the action, and you can sit next to him and call the action. There's Taz as well. I love these. These video packages are so much fun. There's Triple H. There's one of the trash cars. You name it, you can do it here, says Triple H. There's Booker. Is he about to play a video game? Big, you know, it's in a big convention hall, this is. It looks great. Booker beating a child at a video game. There's a Jax Pacific stand as well, so you can see some Jax figures. Big Show. Ric Flair. You're my favorite wrestler ever, and I love you, and this is a dream come true. She says whilst wearing a Hulk Hogan bandana. Days, if it was up to you, would you have Roman have a title reign close to Bruno? No, I don't think you can get away with that in this day and age, to be honest. I think that I think having a good long title reign for a 12 months or over 12 months is good. And what we're seeing with Roman is unprecedented in this day and age. For him to have the title reign as long as he has is something I never expected to see. But no, I wouldn't have a title reign as long as Bruno. 7 years is that's a hell of an ask, isn't it? I don't know that we ever see that again. I don't know that you could ever do that again. That was brilliant. I've said before, I would love to go to Access. I'd be more excited about going to Access than I would about going to WrestleMania. Okay, Tag Team Championship 4-corner WWF Tag Team Championship elimination match. So, Hardys against Dudleys, against the APA, against Billy and Chuck. Here come the Dudleys. Dudley boys. You say that, but didn't Anderson Silva have a title reign for 5 years or something? Oh yeah, but if we're talking like UFC, I mean that's completely different, isn't it? I mean that's legit. That's people that can't actually beat the champion. There's people trying, but they can't actually beat the champion. But I don't think we see that in WWE. Saliva singing the Dudley boys down to the ring. Immediate annihilation, says Sonny. R-Truth was the best Rumble announcement when Heyman set him up with Brock on Raw. How many bands have they got on this show? Well, I think we've already seen this one. It's just we're getting to enjoy them again. I think this is Saliva again. Get the tables! You can tell this was early 2000s. S in Boys is a Z. And Saliva and Drowning Pool are all over this show, says Ryan. Dudley, is anything more attitudes than putting a Z instead of an S? Yeah. Dudley Boys. Hardy Boys. Actually, I don't know if the Hardy Boys did that. Saliva is red hot, and so is Stacy Keebler, says the king. Tables. Days, will you be getting the Cody Rhodes DVD? No, buds. I don't mind career retrospectives. I actually quite like them, but I would probably only get it once the person is like really finished, unless there's been something significant that I'd like to know about. Like, I got the Paul Heyman one because I was really interested in finding out about ECW. And, like, you know, he'd done some incredible stuff. I suppose you could get it to find out Cody's thoughts about his first run in WWE. But his first run in WWE is so underwhelming. Like, I don't know. Do you really want to find out about the secrets of Stardust? Like, it's not one that really grabs me, to be honest. Unless he's going to, because I'm guessing there'll be some sit-down interviews with him. So unless he's going to sit down and give us some dirt about behind the scenes at AEW, but I don't think they'll spend much on AEW. This is really looking at his time in WWE. I wouldn't expect there to be much, if anything, on AEW in there. So if his career was over and he could give us like the full, you know, run through everything, then I might pick it up. Then I might get it. Or if there was something that was major that I'd love a bit more insight into. But I don't really feel like I need that about Cody's early career. It just feels like a bit of a cash in, to be honest. It's like he's back. Let's do a video on him. Because people are obviously excited that he's back. But I don't really know what you talk about. I don't know. People are clamoring to find out more about dashing Cody Rhodes. Hardy Boys with a Z. Yeah. Hardy Boys. Hardy Boys. And then we've got Billy and Chuck. Boom. Did everyone get their gift from Triple T? I got a wonderful card with an LMK autograph. Well, that's lying, because she doesn't like us. Right, here's Billy and Chuck. This is a pretty fun team. I didn't mind Billy and Chuck. Tag champs making their way down to the ring then. I love Chuck and Billy. Okay, 2.25 stars. This is apparently the best match since Ric Flair Undertaker. And it actually scores the same as Kurt Angle and Kane, this one. Did I miss you saying what movies you have on your list? No, I did say I'd quickly have a look at those. So here in the UK, we've got a TV show. It's not on all the time, but it's on once in a while, and it's about building things with Lego. And like they have these amazing like proper Lego builders come in and like build stuff and show you how they do it and everything. I think it's just called Lego Builders or something. That was on TV today, where they got celebrities in to do it. So they gave celebrities a load of Lego, and they gave them like a subject, and then they had to construct something out of the Lego. And it looks kind of fun. I like some of the celebrities. There's some comedians on there, which I'm sure will make it entertaining. That was one of the shows that was on our TV today. Little fun little thing for Christmas. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to check that out. I'm going to watch that. That'll be on like catch-up TV here. So I'm going to watch that. I still need to watch the Santa Clauses. I have not seen a single Christmas movie yet. I have not seen a single Christmas film. So I feel like I need to do that. So I'm going to watch, I do want to try and watch the Santa Clauses. Actually, I mean, for me, because I sleep in the day, like, I suppose in a way Christmas has started for me now. This is Christmas Day here in the UK. It's 17 minutes past 1. So for me, for me, after this, I'll probably grab a beer and I'll start watching some of these things. So I'll have them on and start watching like a few bits. I was then trying to find some films because I thought, well, I suppose I've got my Christmas thing sorted. So I need to watch some films really because I only really watch films around Christmas. I don't really get a chance during the year. So I do want to watch Licorice Pizza, which is meant to be one of the best films of this year. And it's a film that Tommy told us about on the Wrestling Escape Pods. It's free, I think, on Amazon. So I do want to watch that. No Time to Die, because I bought that last year, the Bond film. I still have not watched it. I've got no excuse. I either watch it now or I'm never going to see it. So I need to watch that. So I've got that written down. And as I was looking, I saw that American Horror Story is on Disney Plus, and I never saw the 1984 series of American Horror Story. That's when they do a bit of like slasher kind of series where, you know, the kids go camping, but there's a killer in the woods. And I mean, if you've never seen American Horror Story, it's brilliant. Each series is completely different from the other series, and the whole series just focuses on one story. So first series is like a haunted house. Second series is amazing. It's about like a mental institution, an asylum, and it's amazing. It's brilliant. I love that. That's what got me hooked, actually, was that series. There's a lot of series, though, that I don't think have been that good. It's very hit and miss. But I've heard that 1984, which is the slasher series, I've heard that's very good. And the whole thing is on Disney Plus. I got Disney Plus. So I was like, oh, do you know what? I could get stuck into that as well. So I've got that written down to have a look at as well. Big clothesline there by Bradshaw. I mean, I've got other things, other films to like get my teeth into. Boom. 3D. 2, 3. APA have been eliminated. APA have been eliminated. So we're down to 3 teams. Hardys are in. Big back body drop to Bubba Ray. They've got Devon against the ropes. Back elbows. So, yeah, there's not much on TV. I was looking at the TV guide. There's a couple of bits that I would watch, but not much. The films are pretty atrocious. In fact, No Time to Die is one of the big films on TV this year. The James Bond thing, they're showing that. Chuck gets planted. We've got tables being set up outside the ring. Dudleys have set up these tables. Drop kick. Down goes Devon. Down goes Bubba Ray. Big strike coming in by the Hardys. Into the edge of the ring goes Devon. In the ring, Bubba Ray. Big shot into the corner. Big kicks coming in by Jeff. Jeff has got Bubba Ray. We got that table set up on the outside. Jeff going up. Comes crashing down. 2 DVDs coming out in January. The best of Attitude Era Royal Rumbles. Seems to be Rumbles from 97 to 2001. And A and E Biographies Volume 3, but that's for USA only. Big slap to Stacy Keibler. She gets knocked to the outsides. Kick to the midsection by Jeff. Jeff's on the shoulders of Bubba. Over in the corner, we've got good work there by Billy Gunn. More of these classic watch-alongs, said Enigma. Enigma, shout out to you. Has anyone watched Wednesday on Netflix? That's really good. Anna said she has, and she really enjoyed it. That seems to be really popular. Really popular. I haven't got around to watching it. I'm sure it's very good. I don't mind the Addams Family, but it's a weird one. It's not one that would be high on my to watch list, but I would watch it. Stacey Keebler's checking on her backside. She did get slapped quite hard. The film I'm looking forward to is Oppenheimer from Christopher Nolan. That looks amazing. I don't know it. What's it about, Fortnite? What's it about? Wednesday's pretty good, said Sonny. I simped Tori and Stacey in this era. I'm sorry, said Bonkers. You're not alone, Bonkers. You're not alone, mate. Don't need to apologize for that. I would say pretty much 100% of that crowd is simping Stacey right now. Bermuda Championship Wrestling. Sign in the crowds. Big strike coming in there by Devon. We've still got this table set up on the outside. Big back body drop as Hardy goes down. I might check that out. I tried to avoid popular Netflix shows, said List of Jericho. Arthur Christmas and Rise of the Guardians, says Sonny. I can't say that I've seen bits of Arthur Christmas, and I do like that kind of style. I think that is that done by Aardman? I'm not sure, but I can't remember now. But I have seen bits of it. It's all right. It doesn't. I don't know. I'm in a bit of a weird mood. I don't quite know what I want to watch. I like things that I can laugh. I like comedies. I'm looking forward to the Lego Builders thing. Santa Claus that might be all right, just having it on in the background. Clothesline by Devon. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm kind of in the mood for. Something fun. Festive. Festive fun. That's what I want. This match is perfectly placed for everyone to get their snacks in between Austin and Hall and Rock and Hogan. Well, funny, yeah, I mean, you're right, because the next match after this is Rock and Hogan, so it is giving people the opportunity just to settle back down and maybe focus on getting ready for the next match. The next match is really the reason why we're here, and we are running out of time, you know. Time is slipping away. This show goes for about 3 hours 40 something. We're 2 hours 17 into it. 2 hours 17, absolutely flown by. I feel like I've been streaming for about half an hour, but 2 hours 17 have gone already. We've got, I think, less than an hour and a half to go, and we've still got Hogan against The Rock and all of that still to come. And as we said, that's the main reason that we chose this and why we're watching this. It's called Glass Onion. Knives Out is great. Can't wait to see the second. When you say the style of wrestling now started in WWE, I would say just before AJ Styles came in, you don't see flips and mad soul moves like now back in 2014. I don't know. I think it just constantly evolves. I don't know that I could pinpoint where there was like a drastic change. I think it just evolves really over time. I don't know. There's not really a moment where it's like, boom, here's the switch. It's just constantly as wrestlers are coming in, they're bringing in their style with them. And so it really depends who's on your roster, really. I mean, the other thing as well is where AEW gets popular, you know, that might subconsciously affect some wrestlers into thinking, well, if people like the AEW style, I need to start putting more of that into my act. And so you might start seeing a bit more of the aerial stuff as a result of the success of AEW. But I don't know, it'd be very hard to pinpoint and say, there we go, that's when things change. There's lots of styles. Even today, says Knight Rider. What I found interesting, this Mania has a bunch of matches, but it is a breeze to get through. Yeah, well, what's great is that not many of the matches actually outstay their welcome. If you look at how long the matches go for, so first match is 10 minutes, second match is 10 minutes, Third match is 3 minutes, which is the Maven, hardcore. It didn't need to be longer. Kane against Kurt Angle is 15 minutes. And in all fairness, because of the star power, you don't mind that being that long. 15 minutes feels all right for that. Undertaker Ric Flair, unbelievably, was 28 minutes, that match, That was half an hour long, that match. Didn't feel like it. That is actually the longest match tonight. Undertaker Ric Flair, there is no match that is as long as that tonight. Leg drop by Hardy. Matt Hardy, 1, 2. Shoulder up by Bubba. Edge against Booker was 13 minutes. Stone Cold Scott Hall was 11. This one only goes 13. And then, unbelievably, Rock versus Hulk Hogan, 16 minutes. I mean, you do get the entrances. You do get the stare down. You do get a lot of stuff involved in it. But the actual match itself, 16 minutes long. That's it. Isn't that amazing? All the hype around that match, and it's 16 minutes long. That makes me a twist of fate. Swanton by Jeff. Matt Hardy with the pin on Bubba. And gets the victory. So we're down to the Hardys against Billy and Chuck. Pin on Matt. 2. Kick out by Matt. Kick out by Matt. I tell you what, I want to have a look and see how long Andre Hogan was. WrestleMania 3. I bet that was not very long as well, even though that's super iconic. 12 minutes. 12 minutes. Do you know what? When you look at WrestleMania 3, it's amazing because that's got 12 matches. All of them are on the WrestleMania cards. They have to be short because you can't go over 3 hours because of videotape limits. So this is where I think old WrestleManias, for me, have a real advantage. They're stacked full of star power. They've got loads of matches on them. It's not like you only get 6 matches on old WrestleManias, but because of tape limits, they couldn't go over 3 hours. So you've got the first match, 5 minutes, second match, 7 minutes, third match, 3 minutes, fourth match, 4 minutes, fifth match, 4 minutes. Maybe you could argue that you can't do anything with 4 minutes, 5 minutes. None of these matches ever get any good, but it's a way of getting them on the show. Maybe you could trim it down, make the matches a little bit longer, and maybe that would have been better. In fact, undeniably, it would have been better. 1. Oh, just a 1 count. But, yeah, I mean, 6 minutes, 8 minutes, 3 minutes. It's only Steamboat Savage that get 14 minutes at WrestleMania 3 and Hogan Andre that get 12 that get anything close to decent time. 7 minutes for Honky Tonk Man against Jake the Snake. 8 minutes for Danny Davis and the Hart Foundation against Tito Santana and the Bulldogs. Right, we've got that match has concluded. It is the champions retaining. So Billy and Chuck managing to get the victory over the Hardys. We've got broken tables on the outside. Stacy Keibler checking on Devon. But it is a win for Billy and Chuck. Billy and Chuck getting the job done. And we know what's coming up next. Coming up next. The reason why we are here. I'm better than Austin. He got lucky. What happened to us right now, we're going to take it out on The Rock. Here's Hogan. First time seeing Hogan. I need a favor. I need to go out there on my own. By myself. I need to find out if I am the man. So here we go. The Hogan is making his way out. He has a word with Hall and Nash. Saying that he wants to find out if he is still the man. We're seeing Molly Holly backstage. Running down the corridors of Sky Dome. I love that bit. The top door gets slammed. In her face, there's Christian. One, two, three. It's great. I love that moment. Just the top part of the door. Bang! Down she goes. She sells it like a trooper, man. She sells it like a trooper. Hollywood, Hulk Hogan, and The Rock. Got the 24-inch pythons right there. Amazing. Amazing. Feels great to be back in this ring. You people turned on me. I'm the reason all you people are here. I'm the one that made wrestling as big as it is today. I'm the biggest star, past or present. There will never be a bigger star than Hollywood Hulk Hogan. The build for this is amazing. The hype for this is amazing. This is a proper Christmas treat to revisit this one. January 7th, are you doing the Gervonta Davis fight? I am, yes. I am. You are a legend. You are an icon. Talk about headlining. You talk about main eventing. How do you feel about headlining one more WrestleMania with The Rock? Hogan says it would be a pleasure. Days, AEW should take notes. Not every match on a pay-per-view needs to be 30 or 40 minutes long. I agree. I mean, like, even though these haven't been classics, I don't think the time's a problem, to be honest, because each match is getting about 10 minutes. You should be able to deliver a good match within that time. Each match is getting enough time. It's just, I don't know, they're not able to deliver for whatever reason, but your big matches are getting the time they need, and who wouldn't be excited for this? It's a great video package. They've always been good at these video packages. I'm proper distracted as I'm just reliving these moments again. Hollywood Rock was better, said Lister Jericho. I know people say this should have been the main event, but what people don't remember is outside of the first stare down, the build wasn't amazing, said Ryan. His 10th appearance at WrestleMania, his first in 9 years. Wrestling's past versus wrestling's future. Not quite, but here's Hogan then. Wow, wow, wow. Hogan making his way out with the boas. Wow. Amazing. He will always be the man that slammed Andre. The Rock left for a while to promote the Scorpion King, said Lister Jericho. Gene said, what's the best WrestleMania in history? Mine is WrestleMania 19. 19 is fantastic. A lot of people would go 17. 19 is, dare I say, what a lot of people would probably have as their second favorite? I don't know. I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? Because does WrestleMania, like, I think 17 is regarded as the best. I can see why. I think, though, for me, I've got a real soft spot for the early WrestleManias. I just love that era. I love those stars. I love those names, like, you know, Macho Man and Ric Flair and Hulkamania Hogan and Jake the Snake Roberts, Ultimate Warrior. Like, for me, I get excited seeing them people. And British Bulldog, of course. So I've got a real soft spot for the early Manias. I mean, Warrior and Hogan at 6, or, like, you know, Macho and Warrior at 7 with the retirement match. I've got a real soft spot for 5. There's something about 5 that I just love. I think the build for the main event might be one of the best builds in WrestleMania history. I mean, that story is incredible about Hogan and Macho Man. A Macho Man main event in a WrestleMania. I believe that's the only WrestleMania he ever closes the show on. You can make an argument he main events 8, but he doesn't close the show. I suppose, I think he closed the show at 4, didn't he? Because it was him against $1 Million Man, but it's a bit weird, that one, because it's a title tournament. So he closes the show, but the posters going into it are all Hulk Hogan. So sort of counts, sort of doesn't count. I like that era, though. Here's The Rock, crowd going crazy for Hogan. The Rock makes his way down. If you smell. Can't stop The Rock. Best WrestleMania is often linked to your age and nostalgia. For me, it's early ones, yeah. Bell to Bell, 19 is great. 17, though, just has this aura of being in the big stadium show. 90s and early 2000s boom. Robert said, I love 4, but I know it's universally hated. I find it a bit bloated. I mean, it could be a subconscious thing because it's the one that was 2 videotapes. So, I mean, as a kid, you would think that having more would make it better. But even as a kid, I found it to be a lot of stuff I just didn't need. Don't know. It's a weird one. It's a strange one. It's the tournament, isn't it? So, Rock coming down, getting a great reaction still. Hogan on the one side, Rock on the other. This is the whole point of watching this. After this, we've got 2 matches. Women's match that is very short, and then our main event, which is Jericho and Triple H. But this is the main event. Dueling chants in the crowds. Just bring it sign. The Hogan chants getting a little louder as these 2 step towards each other. Love that sign. Love that face of Hogan from an old WrestleMania poster. That's great. Horns going off as The Rock and Hogan in the middle, face to face. Absolutely iconic. Look at the smile. Hogan chants really coming through now. This is the house that Hogan built. We'll never see Tyson and Ali. Someone's got a sign that says, Hogan, 1983 just called. Bell rings. These 2 circling around each other. They lock up. And obviously, I mean, everyone knows this match was going to be completely different. It was going to be Hogan working heel. It was going to be The Rock working face. And they call an audible during this match. Look at that. He drives The Rock back, and there's a big cheer, and Hogan poses. Hogan looking out at the fans as the fans are going banana. Massive cheer as Hogan knocks The Rock back. Look at that. Hogan, you can see he's feeding off of it. They lock up again. Side headlock. He's working the headlock. Hulkamania still alive and well at this stage. Rocky sucks chance, I believe. Rocky sucks chance. Shot coming into the midsection. Against the ropes. Shoulder tackle. Rock goes down. Massive roar. As he shows off the pythons again, and he poses. People on their feet. Hogan goes over. Amazing. Amazing. I think it's around this point. At some point, Hogan apparently says, do you want me to fix this? Shall we fix this? Because I've heard that they wanted to walk. They wanted to do the match. Look at this. Loud chat. It's amazing. It's amazing. They lock up. Knee to the midsection. Big clubbing blow to the back. Rock down. And again, another big clubbing blow. Big shot. And again. So yeah, apparently they planned a match out. Rock wanted to do this match, like go through it. Hogan didn't, because he's like, brother, I have to have the crowd. If I ain't got the crowd, I'm gonna be a bit stiff, and I could get hurt. Legit, like this, it's not a good idea. And so he was worried about going through it. So they walked through it, and the match was completely different to the match that we ended up getting. And when Hogan was getting the crazy reactions he was getting, he says to The Rock during this match, do you want me to fix this? Like, basically, do you want me to change what you had planned? Because it was The Rock and Pat Patterson and Vince that had the match planned out. And so they end up going and doing a different match. Which I think everyone knows by this point. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone. These two pushing back and forth. But that call apparently comes a few moves into this match. Big shot as Hogan goes against the ropes. He goes down, rolls to the outsides. Why isn't this the main event? Dominic, hello. Why wasn't this the main event? It was because Triple H petitioned for his match to be the main event. He felt that the WWE title should main event. And I think as well, it's difficult because Vince, I think, probably felt very betrayed by Hogan. He'd left him, gone to WCW. He'd worked very hard to put Vince out of business. Vince always held those grudges. So I don't know how eager he was to put Hogan as the main event to close the show. I mean, I'm sure he's looking at this now thinking this should have closed the show. But, I think he would much rather put a couple of his guys as the show closers. I suppose in a way, it's just another little disrespect thing. Like, yeah, okay, here's Hogan, but he's middle of the card, I'm not quite middle of the card, but you know my point. Elbow there by Hogan. Elbow drop. And again. Disney Plus Christmas movies. Noel, it's Christmas again. The ultimate Christmas present. Ice Age, A Mammoth Christmas, and Jingle All the Way. I do like Jingle All the Way. Mr. Deja said, my favorite is 31, 38, 30, 25, 19, 24, 17, and 28. This is the beginning of the Rock of script era. I love Hulk, but that's where Top Dollar learned his over-the-top botch. Big kick to the midsection by Hogan. Shots coming in. Well, this match only gets 3 stars from Meltzer. So Meltzer wasn't in love with this, but it's undeniable. It's undeniable that this is... the crowd make this a bigger than 3-star match. Crowd booing The Rock. The Rock swinging. Back body drop by Hogan. Like, the crowd sort of condition themselves. It does feel like The Rock gets cheered when he comes down, but the crowd just seem to turn onto, like, siding with Hogan. This is the house that Hollywood built, said Jerry Lawler. Putting a stretch on. Ryan, Merry Christmas. Joseph says this should have got at least 4.5 stars, maybe even 5. The crowd deserved the 5 stars. Jonathan said he hit the rock bottom. Damien said Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels matches were better than Hogan versus Rock. I mean, look, those matches are better. I mean, I'd have to rewatch them to see if look, for me, Shawn and Undertaker is 5 stars. It's my favorite match ever is 25. Undertaker, Shawn, so I'll quite gladly wave the flag for that. I don't know the crowd is as hot as this, though. This is special. This crowd is special. This match is special. Chop coming in by Hollywood Hogan. Chop coming in by Hollywood Hogan. So much has been written about this match and spoken about with this match. Hogan climbing up. He's got Rock in the corner, looks out at the crowd, throws in some big right hands. Crowd counting along. Then Hogan starts biting the Rock. Referee just having a word. There's a sign that says Hogan built this house. Chop's coming in by the Rock. Boos for the Rock. The Rock listening out to the fans as they're booing away. Hogan reverses. Rock into the corner. Back elbow by the Rock. Hogan stumbles over to the other side. Oof. Plants the Rock down. He's choking. The referee's not going to count whilst he's choking. Who would win a match between the Pigeon Lady and the Shovel Man from Home Alone? Haven't seen Home Alone in so long, but I really don't know. I'd go Pigeon Lady. She could probably conjure up the power of the pigeons. But I'll go Pigeon Lady. Days, I just tweeted you. Dom got arrested on Christmas Eve. Dom's in jail. Big Dom. Big Dom in jail. Big Dom. Let's have a look, see what Big Dom's been up to. Oh, what you done now, Big Dom? This time, Mysterio calls the police. 4-minute video. So Dominic arrives with Rhea. He puts the hat on to Ray's head. Ray kicks Big Dom out the house. Seeing police arrive. They arrest Big Dom. Big Dom arguing with the cops. And here he is being loaded into the back of the car. Rhea Rippers is upset. Big Dom arrested. Long. Big Dom. Have you been watching? Canada has got some of the best crowds. Yeah, this crowd's amazing. We're on the outside. Shots coming in by the Rockers there, over by the commentary table. Hogan getting his face smashed into that commentary table. And again. I remember as a kid being so confused by the boos, said List of Jericho. He was going for a chair, but the referee takes the chair away. Clothesline by Hogan as the Rock goes down. So the Rock down on the outside. Hogan grabbing the Rock, trying to help him back up to his feet, grabs the Rock, hurls him into the ring. Hogan gets into the ring as well. Big right hand coming in by the Rock, and again. Against the ropes goes the Rock. Oh, he collides into the ref. Rock down, ref down. Hogan going over, grabbing the Rock. Big right hand as the Rock goes back against the ropes, and again. Hollywood Hogan helping the Rock into the ref. Boom, plants him down. Spinebuster by the Rock. Spinebuster by the Rock. They're setting up Dom Ray for WrestleMania, said Lister Jericho. What was your favorite Rock Stone Cold match? The first one or the second one? I mean, I feel like the second one's a little bit ruined by the turn. But then it's helped with the fact it's at 17. So, I don't know. I feel like I might go first one. But second one is, so big because of it being at 17. Got sharpshooter applied at the moment. He's trying to get over to the ropes. Hogan crawling over. He gets there. He's at the ropes, but the Rock's not letting go. He drags Hogan back into the center. Hogan taps. Hogan taps. Hogan's tapping, but the Rock's not letting go. And he finally releases it. He did make it to the ropes. The referee is still down. Why we got no replacement ref? We had a ref come down, come sliding in before. Rocky sucks chance. Rocky sucks chance. Low blow by Hogan. And the crowd cheer. Looking for a rock bottom. Hogan with the rock bottom. Referee. 1, 2. And a kick out. And a kick out. Every time they show a replay, the sound they use sounds like a Bray vignette. I just keep thinking Bray is coming, said Chris. Ryan said it's a testament to how good The Rock is. He knew how to work heel straight away. Hogan whipping away. Whipping away on The Rock. With that weight belt. Rolling up the belt. He's got The Rock going against the ropes. Oh, went to hit him. Kick to the midsection. DDT. DDT by The Rock. Lots of boos. Rock going, he's back on his feet. Rock has got the belt. He's going to start whipping. Bang! Again. The Rock whipping Hogan with that Hollywood weight belt. And again. Just repeatedly. I think we're starting to see some movement from the ref. Another one for the road. Hogan getting up to his feet. Rock looking for the rock bottom. It's got Hogan. Boom, there it is. 1, 2, and a kick out by the Hulkster. Oh! He's hulking up. Big shot coming in by The Rock. The crowd going banana. So good. So good. 3 stars. Screw you, Meltzer. Lawler against the ropes. Big boot. Down goes The Rock. Looking for the leg. The big leg drop. 2. And The Rock kicks out. The Rock kicks out of the leg drop. Oh, it's electric, man. It's so good. So good. This is the good stuff. This is the top shelf stuff. This is what people look for in wrestling. 3 stars! Against the Rocks goes the Rock. Big boot again by Hogan. Hogan looking for the leg drop. Rock moves out the way. And the Rock's going to look for rock bottom. Is waiting for Hogan to get up. Hogan on his feet. He grabs him. There it is. It was a thunderous rock bottom. He beat Andre with that move, said Joseph. Hogan down. Rock on his feet, standing over Hogan. Not going for the cover. He knows it's going to take more than that to put Hogan away. And another rock bottom. Kip up by the Rock. The Rock's going to give the people's elbow. There's a section of fans that have gone banana just for the people's elbow. Boom, and there it is. 1, 2, 3, and the Rock beats Hollywood's Hulk Hogan. That was a match for the ages. What an emotional ride. Dun, 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 dun. 3 stars. What the hell was Dave on, said Joseph. What's your favourite episode from Raw from 2022? I have no idea, dude. I'd have to have a look at all the ratings to give you an actual answer. Rock getting up to his feet. Hogan still down in the centre of the ring. Crowd are still cheering. What a match. What a match. In all fairness, this show could end here. At 2 hours 51, you could cut this WrestleMania right here. The Rock going over, puts his arm in the air, cameras, flashes going everywhere. Dave Meltzer probably prefers Star Trek to Star Wars and Vanilla Ice to Eminem. Wow, Star Trek, Star Wars is an interesting conversation, actually, because I always was Star Wars. But I really enjoyed Next Generation. Makes it tricky. Star Trek, Star Wars. Oh, it's tricky, you know. Next Generation is goated. I was at this match, said Adam. Was you? Dudes. You witnessed history. It's amazing. It was amazing at the time, and it's, dare I say, even grown as years have gone by with how historic and important it is. If you like, for me, the most iconic is Hogan Andre, but if ever we have that conversation, there's people that go, nah, Rock Hogan. Handshake at the end there. Hogan tells The Rock to celebrate. The Rock goes over and celebrates a bit more. A handshake out of Hogan. Hogan pointing at The Rock. So The Rock jumps out the ring and walks around on the outside. Hogan giving a thumbs up to the crowds. Hogan's trying to explain to the fans, is like, that guy's number one. I mean, I tried everything. Here's Hall and Nash. They jump into the ring. Hall and Nash. And now they attack Hogan. Hall and Nash attacking Hogan. Hogan is down. And The Rock gets back in. Big shots by The Rock. The Rock defending Hogan. Massive clothesline. Over the top goes Nash. Hall is down. Over the top rope goes Scott Hall. And they play The Rock's music again. Really, we could have got... at that point, we should have got... Dun, 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 da, 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 da. And it comes crashing down and it hurts inside. They should have played that then. That was the perfect opportunity to play that music. Tim, Merry Christmas to you, buds. Hope you have a great one. Ben, Merry Christmas to you as well. Gene said, what's your New Year's resolution? Not very good with New Year's resolutions, to be honest. I mean, I doubt I would stick to them, so I don't really make an effort of making them. So I can't say I have one at the moment. It's not really, I don't know, maybe save up for a house. Don't spend any money. That's my New Year's resolution. Don't spend any money. Save up for my own place. Corey said, my beer is warm. Damn it, Corey. Bloodline were kids at this point. Where's the Bloodline to help The Rock? Did Santa come for Kia? Oh, she'll get some stuff. Got her a nice toy and a bone thing for her to have. So, yeah, she'll have some lovely things. The Rock's trying to convince Hogan to get back into the ring. He is insisting that Hogan get back into this ring. Crowd's chanting for Hogan. Hogan's pointing at the crowd. Here it is. Amazing. Amazing. Showing off the guns. Rock coming into the center. How amazing. How amazing for The Rock to be in there with Hogan as Hogan's doing this. And for The Rock to, you know, be sharing this stage with him. Age didn't stop the Goonies. I still think Hogan should have been the main event, said Philip. Yeah, I think pretty much everyone does. I mean, I can't imagine there's too many arguing against that. Nothing can follow this. I mean, what comes after this, it cannot get to this level. Posters, the cover of the DVD, everything is Rock and Hogan. It's one of those, actually, when people find out this didn't close the show, they're genuinely surprised. It's a bit like finding out that Andre Hogan didn't close the show. Toronto is amazing, said Dort Knight. Lister Jericho said NWO had their time. Never mind, Hogan tried to kill him with the truck. We had a good match and all is good, says Ryan. Rob said they called that match on the fly and reverse roles once they heard the fans. So we are just seeing Hogan and Rock shaking hands. Rock-a-mania. Bum, 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 ba-da-ba-da. Right, those two walking off. We got the ladies coming up next. That was the whole point in watching this, in all fairness. And we watched it for that match, and it was definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Right, next up, we've got Lita against Jazz against Trish. This isn't on for very long, and then we've got our main event. Lita, Jazz, and Lita versus Jazz versus Trish. They're at the entrance ramp right now. Top of the entrance ramp. There it is. WrestleMania 18 at WWF New York. Inside WWF New York, looks like Big Show is there. Fans watching this event unfold. Oh, look at that little girl. She's a badass. She's got a bandana on. WrestleMania 18 at WWF New York in Times Square. WrestleMania 18. Set new Skydome attendance records. 68,237. Skydome record attendance. 68,237. Do you know what? The Skydome, they keep showing the top of it, and there's people sat down. They've got, like, railings in front of them. I wonder if that's because it's so steep that you've got to have, like, railings to, like, help you, like, walk and that make sure you don't fall. Does look high up there. Tell you, it's really high at the top of the O2. I went to the O2 in 2012 to watch basketball at the Olympics. And I remember having tickets right up in the heavens at the O2. And I can remember, you know, I'd been drinking all day. It was the end of the day. It was like, I don't know what time it was, but it seemed like, you know, 6, 7 at night. And I'd been drinking all day. We'd been at the Olympics all day. And I was up in the heavens. I remember getting up to go to the bathroom. And I was genuinely concerned. I was genuinely concerned. It was so steep. And I was like... I mean, like, I wasn't drunk, but I wasn't sober either. And I genuinely was like, if I slip, I am going over the edge of this. I swear to God, I have no idea how no one has fallen or hurt themselves at, like, the O2. I have not got a clue. Because, like, there is, like, obviously a rail at the front. But if you like, bounced and went over that, I mean, you're done, mate. You're done. Scary. Not comfortable if you've been drinking. That's my review of the O2. Great on the ground. First level, lovely. When the higher up you get, the steeper it gets. And I did just see at the Skydome, I was like, I wonder if that's the same there as well. Lita making her way down. Do you guys think we might see Rock Roman? I think so, yeah. I think so. Don't they always lie about the attendance? Yeah, there was actually 5 people there. 5 people in a load of mirrors. But apparently 68,000. Okay, so Lita in the ring. Here's Trish. Trish making her way down. Would anyone walk on the glass walkway that's 50 stories high? Do you know what? There's a really funny picture of me as a kid. I think being actually in Toronto at the CN Tower and me trying to get my head onto the glass thing. If I can find that picture one day, I will show you it. Because it is me at a school age in Toronto at the top of the CN Tower, just putting my head on that glass thing. No way am I brave enough to walk on it. Just got my head on it, and I'm, like, trying to take a picture. And I think in the picture, I'm like... You can see the concern written all over my face. So would I walk on it? Maybe now I'm an adult, I might. As a kid, no flipping way. Shots coming in by Trish. They've released this Trish in figure form. Look at that. Single leg Boston Crab. Kick to the midsection. Days, I did that. I got 6, said William. Are you thinking of doing a best of 2022 wrestling moments? I don't know. I got asked this earlier about, are we going to do like a recap of the year and all this? I genuinely don't know. My plan for this time of year was to do the World Cup, which we did. We did 40 odd games of the World Cup. Then we just had this weird week because the World Cup final was only last Sunday. So this week was just a get through this week sort of thing. Now we're at Christmas. I know the next big thing I've got to get out the way is my family coming around on the 28th. So 28th, I've got the family coming over. That's Wednesday. So it's going to be a bit weird between now and Wednesday because I think there's going to have to be a lot of tidying up around the house and a lot of presents to be wrapped and written and cards and blah, 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 all that stuff, you know. So I genuinely don't know. I sort of feel like it might be a bit messy until we get to the new year. But, you know, we'll obviously, I'll get some plans in place at some point. But right now we've got, less than 40 minutes left of this stream. And then my plan is to drink. And that's it, basically. Drink and just start watching some of these things. Somewhere has a glass pool similar to that. Do you think this year has been a blur, said Big Time Baxter. Dylan said, I've tagged you in breaking news. What is it, buds? Yes, isn't it? Do I think this year has been a blur? Has it been a blur? Yeah, I suppose in a way. I suppose all years feel like a blur. I don't know if I've ever had a year that's not felt like a blur, to be honest. I think if ever you look back on a year, it always feels like it's gone by really quickly. I cannot remember a single year that I've looked back on and gone, wow, that's been such a long year. Most years feel like a blur. Duck underneath there by Jazz. Kick to the midsection. Trish. Lovely suplex. Going for the cover. 2. Poor women having to follow that last match. I mean, it's pretty moody, isn't it? I think this is Lita's only WrestleMania match. I don't know that she has another one. She's got to go on after. I mean, you must be backstage watching Rock and Hogan. Just like, I don't want to follow that. I don't want to have to go out there. Apparently, Lita even said there was some people in the crowd that were giving her abuse during this match. Slap there by Lita. Forearm strike by Trish. Trish and Lita going at it. Legend Killer says, Merry Christmas days. You are the best man ever. Legend Killer, shout out to you. Shout out to you. Appreciate the kind words, my friends. Scott said as well, Merry Christmas. Hope you have a good one. Same to you, buds. Here we go. Ho, ho, ho. Lita going up top. We got Trish down. We got Jazz down. Went for that moonsault. She overshot everyone, but Trish gets her knees up, goes for the pin. Kick out by Lita. Ethan said, how you doing? I'm doing good, buds. I mean, I feel like I'm in this weird point now where the whole night tonight, whilst we've been streaming, has been getting to Hogan and The Rock. And now we've done that. I'm like, yeah, I'm done now. I don't need any of this now. I feel like the crowd probably feel at WrestleMania 18. Done now. Time to start thinking about watching things and having some drinks. There's a sign in the crowd that says Kane smells. But no, it's been an easy watch considering we're nearly, 10 minutes past the 3-hour mark. I certainly don't feel tired or anything like that. I don't feel wore out or anything. It's been an easy WrestleMania to watch. Oh, look at Trish's knee getting caught up in the rope there. Yeah, man. That was brutal. Did you hear there was a Rampage taping? Some fans were throwing racial slurs. Thankfully, it wasn't picked up. Sat mentioned a friend heard it. No, I didn't. Hopefully, those people were dealt with. Nice. 2, 3, and Jazz gets the win. She gets the pin on Lita. Trish on the outside. And Jazz retains the title. So only 6 minutes long, that one. We've got one more match to go. It is our main event. And it is Jericho versus Triple H. We are seeing the Christian with the Hardcore Championship. Puts up the boot, puts his bag in the back. Jumps in the back with the belt. I'm a hardcore champ. I'm a winner. Maven rolling up Christian. Maven jumps into the taxi, drives off. Christian's bag's in the back of that taxi. For that. How quickly life can go from being so great to so cruel. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Following contest. Scheduled for 1 fall. And it is for the undisputed WWF Championship. Chris Jericho against Triple H. It's weird. It feels like the least main event match ever, said Ryan. The whole point of this was for Triple H to pedigree Steph said list to Jericho. Thoughts on the new trailer of Dynamite? Haven't seen it. I watched Dynamite on a Wednesday. That is it. That's my only interaction with AEW, so I haven't seen it. What's your favorite pay-per-view this year? We spoke about this the other day. Day 1 of WrestleMania. If I can just pick a day, then day 1 of WrestleMania I thought was very impressive. Legend Killer said time for the main events. Dominic Mysterio's been arrested. Who are these? We've got another band playing again. Is this, have we seen these guys already, or is this another new band? I just want to hear you. It's Drowning Pool again. So Triple H coming down as Drowning Pool. Playing his entrance music for him. Says here, the aftermath of WrestleMania. After WrestleMania, the WWF Board of Directors made their final decision over the control of the company due to the conflicts between Mr. McMahon and Ric Flair making bad business. Linda proposed a brand extension, essentially splitting the entire WWF roster into 2 separate entities, named after their 2 big shows of Raw and SmackDown. Vince took control of SmackDown, whilst Ric Flair took control of Raw. A draft was held. Each owner would get 30 picks. The draft was held on March 25th, while the brand extension begun on April 1st. Okay, so Triple H making his way down. What a terrible walkout for Triple H. It is a bit rubbish, isn't it? Damien said, I like Chris Jericho back then. Not so much now. Hammed on Rampage, AEW logo, no gold in the middle, and lasers are blue and reds. It's white AEW logo, no golds. Colors are blue and red with lasers. It's very similar to Survivor Series. Liz Jericho said, I hated the brand split. When did Mania become a rock concert, said Anna. Attitude Era. There we go. I mean, well, next year we had Limp Bizkit, didn't we? They, if I'm right in remembering, they were all over WrestleMania 19. So that was like a concert as well. So Triple H has made his way down. Here comes Y2J. Chris Jericho. The Oko. The Oko. The Wizard. Oh, man, this music's goated. Stupid Judas. Break the walls down. Here is Y2J. Jericho 2 belts. And of course, at this time, he had Steph with him. She was, I believe, a business associate. I remember hearing an interview with Jericho, and Jericho wanted to do a story where Steph was cheating on Hunter, and they had footage of it, and it would turn out that she was cheating on Hunter with Jericho, and Hunter wouldn't go for it. Triple H wouldn't go for it. He said, my character would never fall for that. So there's a lot about this that Jericho didn't like. Jericho making his way down. Steph looking lovely. Do you think a change is needed? Perhaps inspiration from NXT after they also left the dark, dingy, gritty vibe? I don't know. I mean, like, I can't say that AEW's problems are anything to do with their logo or their branding. So, I don't know. I can't say that's going to make any difference to ratings or the perception of AEW. Perhaps they just want to freshen things up. Perhaps they want to show that they're going to freshen it up. And a good way to say that they're freshening things up is, you know, new logo, fresh start, new year. Maybe there's some along those lines that are in the thinking. It would have worked. It wouldn't have worked. Triple H wouldn't fall for anything like that. He'd be a sympathetic babyface, said Ryan. Banana ghost beans. Beans on ghost bananas. Oh, I'll tell you, I was thinking about some beans on toast last night, you know. I never got around to having it, but evil doesn't look that good or shouldn't look that good, says the king. As Steph walks around on the outside, cheering on Jericho. Jericho, obviously from Canada. I mean, sort of makes sense in that regard that this closes the show as well. Hometown guy. So we are underway. This match actually gets a little bit of time. As we said, no match goes as long as Ric Flair and The Undertaker, but this one does clock in at about 26 minutes or so. Ric Flair, Undertaker clocking in at about the 28-minute mark. But we are into the final stages of this one. Nearly 20 minutes past the 3-hour mark. What's your favorite Christmas movie of all time, said Dean? I would probably say it always used to be Elf, and I don't think it is anymore. Do you know, I might just go Tim Allen, Santa Claus. I have always enjoyed that film. I've always found it easy to watch. I am going to watch the TV series that's on Disney Plus. So I am going to do that. So maybe that would get my nod this year. Sonny said, I recently watched The Princess Diaries. It's good. Apparently there's a third one coming out soon. Damien said, I love Triple H, King of Kings, and the Cerebral Assassin. I ordered beans on toast from a takeaway last night. Do you know what? If only you could. I wonder if there'd be a demand for that. Like, killer beans on toast. The thing is, it's quite cheap to make. It's quite easy to make. I don't know that people, you know, like, getting a pizza is obviously a much more of a challenging thing to make. A curry's a much more challenging thing to make. I don't know that people would order beans on toast. It's one of the most simple things you can do. But could you imagine if you could get like high quality beans on toast? The finest beans, the finest bread. Toppings of your choice. Oh my God. Jericho gets launched into barricades. Would you class Bray Wyatt as a legend? Don't know, to be honest. That's difficult. A definite Hall of Famer, but at what point does a Hall of Famer become a legend? At what point does someone become a legend? That's hard. That's hard. At what point does someone, an undoubtable, undeniable Hall of Famer, but it's a hard question. At what point does someone become a legend? Don't know. My answer would, I think if there's any doubt, my answer would have to be no. But a definite, I've got no doubt he goes in the Hall of Fame. No doubt whatsoever. See you on Monday. Justin, shout out to you. Have a great Christmas. Liz Jericho said, not the beans on toast discussion again. Adam said, Triple H won the 2002 Rumble. McMahon didn't want him in the main event. Stephanie asked her dad, don't worry, Jericho will win with my help. And Vince agreed with his daughter. What's your favorite Triple H match? It's probably against Undertaker, you know. I know it's a boring answer, but him against Undertaker, maybe WrestleMania 28. That one where you've got Shawn in there as well. End of an era. I don't think I can put anything over that. Elbow drop there by Triple H. Triple H in control. You could charge £100 to go around to community members' houses and make them beans on toast, said Dortnight. Game. As long as I can make some for myself as well. Rake of the eyes there by Jericho. Last time I had beans on toast, we had sourdough bread, beans and cheese, and it was ace. I don't think I've ever had beans on toast with sourdough bread, you know. Oh, my God. I might have to go out on Boxing Day. Get all the ingredients needed for an absolute top drawer beans on toast. The finest beans. Sourdough breads. Cheese. Might even put a bit of chicken on there, you know. Oh, my God. And an egg. I might put an egg on it. I might just put an egg on it. Triple H has got Steph is waiting for. Oh, my God. That spear, man. So Triple H grabs Steph. Jericho runs in, looks for a spear. Steph gets speared. She sort of holds onto the top rope, gets like jolted around. Now Triple H is in the ring. He grabs her by the hair. He's looking for the pedigree. We've seen him do the pedigree before, and there was a wardrobe malfunction. He went for the pedigree here with Steph. Steph gets out the ring. Jericho wrapping Triple H's leg around that ring post. And again, one more for the roads. Did you know old DVDs like WrestleMania 23 and WrestleMania Anthology come with rare Cenotypes? It's a single frame thing. I've got Roddy and Bob Orton. I have WrestleMania 20. I think it was up here somewhere. I've got WrestleMania 20 that comes with one of those. I don't really get what it is. Like, I don't believe it's from the actual film. I don't know what it is. It's just a single frame, isn't it? But yeah, I've got the WrestleMania 20 limited edition thing. Been part of the build. Best part of the build was Stephanie's wardrobe malfunction, says Ryan. My favorite Jericho match is when Jericho beat Rock and Stone Cold in the same night. Adam said you chose the right WrestleMania to watch. 20 years later, Triple H, head of talent relations. Steph is co-CEO with Nick Khan and Tony Khan's brother. Well, to be honest, we didn't watch it for this match. We watched it for Hogan and The Rock. It's a WrestleMania. People love WrestleManias. We wanted to go. We could have just watched something, you know, for a few hours in your house, something like that. But we hadn't done 18. We've done 17. We've done 19. I can't even remember if we've done 20, you know. I don't feel like watching 20 would be appropriate. With that show ended with Chris Benoit. So 18 with Rock and Hogan just made sense. Steph came over and delivered a slap right now. We've got a figure 4 applied. Triple H in a bit of discomfort. Prepare for AEW fans to be disappointed. Meltzer thinks AEW has abandoned the mystery and is going with 6-woman tag feud with Tony and Shida. Has abandoned the mystery. Oh, and they're going to go with 6-woman tag feud instead. Oh, I get what you mean. So no more mystery partner for Saraya. I honestly always was under the impression that was Thunder Rosa. So I wonder if, like, it was and her comeback has been delayed or something. Jericho goes back, snaps the leg of Triple H. We're into the final 15 or so. I watched 20. It's emotional, said Ryan. Adam said, did you know in 2002, the rivalry between Triple H and Steph ended at the draft when Triple H retained the title in a triple threat match? Justin, welcome back. Justin said, how can 28 versus Taker not be everyone's favorite? I watched WrestleMania 20, but I just cut off the last match, said Jeremy. Hard, innit? Such a shame. It was so good at the time, but I mean, obviously, in retrospect, they obviously wouldn't have booked that now, but looks like there's a bit of concern as Steph comes round to try and fire up Jericho. Jericho going shoulder first into the ring post. Steph on the outside. Net breaker. Crowds are really quiet for this. Crowds, Jericho has actually said this is a match that he's not watched back. He won't watch this match back. He wasn't happy with the story. He didn't think they should have gone last. He wasn't happy with his undisputed title reign as well. Come on, Jericho, says Steph. Shot coming in there by Triple H. And again, Jericho a little bit wobbly. Nice reversal. Triple H going against the ropes. Inverted atomic drop. AEW has gone on radio silence for 2 weeks on Dynamite. No mention. I think fans have turned it into summer and it wasn't the plan. That's the problem. If you're going to do a mystery thing, you're always going to have people guessing the biggest thing possible. You know, if you're saying there's a mystery woman coming in January and everyone finds out Sasha's free in January, everyone's going to blow things out of proportion. And so, you know, I think, like, no, I don't know that. Some people just don't, like, think it through, really. I never felt that she was going to AEW. And so, yeah, maybe it did just get blown out of proportion, but that's on AEW in all fairness. Over in the corner. Nice reversal. Triple H goes up over the top to the outside. Triple H down, grabbing a hold of his leg. Jessen said, I've been watching Nitro all day. Rey Mysterio debuting at WrestleMania 19, said Jeremy. Have you watched Stranger Things, said Ethan. No, I don't watch Stranger Things, buds. I don't watch it. I don't watch Stranger Things. I don't know that it's my kind of thing, to be honest. I've heard it's good. People might like, my mom watches it. She enjoys it. But it's not on my radar. Triple H and Jericho on a commentary table. Alex said, great streams this year. Shout out to you, Days, and the community. Alex. Have a good one, buds. Hope you get spoilt by Santa. Appreciate the kind words. Kick there by Triple H. Jericho down. Wasn't Jericho also complaining over him and Owens opening 33, pushing for him to beat Styles at 32, yeah. I can see his point about him and Owens. I mean, I don't know where he wanted to go on the cards. I mean, you're not going to, I think actually his problem was that when that feud started, I think Owens was Universal Champ. By the time it gets to WrestleMania, Owens isn't Universal Champ. So I think in his mind, he thought that was going to lead to them fighting over the Universal Championship and maybe could even close the show. But that just wasn't the plan. I don't think Strange Thing would be your thing, but who knows, said Dort Knight. Retribution, hello. Merry Christmas. What do you think about Mandy Rose being fired? Well, we've covered it, but I think that if she was given the choice as to, like, if WWE aren't comfortable with someone going that far in this day and age, that's totally understandable. Like, they've got sponsors and things to like that to worry about. And they're trying to be a PG product in this day and age. A lot of people point to, well, they did the Playboy stuff. Yeah, but that was a different time. That was basically a different company. In this day and age, they're a PG product with sponsors, advertisers, and things like that to worry about. Lots of licensing agreements that they never had back in the day. And also, it was a different era back in the day. This day and age, they're not comfortable with people doing that kind of stuff. So I can totally understand them saying, we're not comfortable with this. The question becomes, did they give Mandy the choice of, you either do this and you can get rid of that and you can stay with us, or was it just, no, you've crossed the line, that's it, you're done? Like, if it was, you've crossed the line, that's it, you're done, I think that's a bit harsh. To not give her the chance to take that stuff down and still remain with the company. But if it was a case they said, look, take it down or you're done, and she chose to keep that stuff up and keep doing that, that was her choice. That's her choice then, isn't it? And my understanding is she makes a lot of money from it. So you can understand her not wanting to lose it. But there's not much I can criticize WWE for, to be honest. If it was her choice, I think it's a bit harsh if it wasn't. I think it's a bit harsh if they just fired her. I'd say that would be a bit harsh. But other than that, look at that. Blood all in Jericho's mouth. I don't know where that blood's coming from, actually. I don't know if he's bit his tongue or if it's coming from his gums or what. But blood's in the mouth of Jericho as we enter the final 10 minutes. Final 10 minutes of WrestleMania 18. We'll get people's thoughts on this as the walls are applied and Triple H is going over to the ropes, grabs the rope, and referee telling him he's got to break the holds. Mandy hasn't tweeted or posted on Instagram since being released. No mention from Sonya or female wrestlers paying tribute, said Big Time Baxter. Right, we got Jericho on the outside. AEW are going to get a new stage entrance on January 4th, said Adam. Steph's trying to get into the ring. Jericho with a chair. Boot there. I mean, according to Meltzer, this match is as good as Rock and Hogan. DDT. Jericho gets planted onto that chair. 1, 2... And Jericho gets his shoulder up. You can just tell, man, the crowd just don't care. They just do not care. They don't give a flip about this. They do not give a flip. Right, let's get a poll set up because we are not too far away from this wrapping up. There's Steph. Steph with a chair. Referee taking that chair away. Steph is so heavily involved in this. She pushes Hebner. Turns around and there's the game. There's Triple H. Triple H grabbing Steph by the hair. Steph says, leave me alone. He's going to hook the arms. Oof. Bang. Pedigrees. Maybe a quick little check there to make sure that everything's where it should be. Steph pedigreed by Triple H. Referee rolling Steph out. The $1 billion princess just being rolled out the ring. Jericho with the chair. Down goes Triple H. 1, 2. Shoulder up. Shoulder up. When do you guys do Christmas? Yeah, 25th. 25th is Christmas. But I've got my family coming around on the 28th. That's not a British thing. That's just when people are free. When I was young, we used to go round to my nan and granddad's and my grandma's on Christmas Day. So we'd wake up, we'd open the presents, and then we would go and see the rest of the family. Triple H slingshot in Jericho into the corner. Oh, kick to the midsection. Double underhooks by Triple H. Bang! Down goes Jericho. And Triple H wins. The game! Triple H wins. And no! Triple H has done it then. Triple H wins the undisputed. Barely stand. Triple H wins. A rather bland ending. Yeah. The pedigree on Steph appears to have reawakened the crowds. Yeah. Everyone's getting their cameras on the Zoom, seeing if they can get into the breasticles. Making sure that they're, if they're in or if they've popped out. We have a new undisputed champion. There is Triple H. It's all about the game. Are you ready to play the game? Look at that. Drove Steph into the ring, and then a pedigree for Jericho as well. What does WWE need to do to get some of that juice that is AEW crowds who sometimes feel they're obligated to go crazy, otherwise they're seen as a weak city? To be honest, I don't think it matters. Like, AEW have got red hot crowds, but it's not improving their ratings. You've got a fan base that are passionately WWE, and so they will support AEW, whatever AEW do, because they are so invested in that work, and they're so invested in. It's a bit like if Sasha was to start her own company now. You'd have a lot of Sasha stands that would support her, and they would support that regardless. Doesn't matter what happened, they'd support it. It's Sasha. It's Sasha's promotion. And you've got a lot of Elite fans, Kenny fans, Young Buck fans that are going to support AEW regardless. And so, like, it's hard for WWE to get that. I mean, I think there are fans that support WWE regardless, but there's a lot of kids as well that will cheer and make noise, but not go as crazy as what the AEW fans do, you know? They really go OTT. I suppose in a way it's because they feel a bit like the underdog. Do you know what I mean? They're the company that are battling to survive, really. They're the company that are battling to prove that they belong and prove they're cool, and they feel like they play a massive part in proving that, and they feel, dare I say, a bigger part of the show. I mean, if WWE wanted to get that, it's going to be hard because they've been around for so long. I mean, you know what WWE is now, and they certainly can't be perceived as being the underdog, so they're not the underdog. I don't think anyone's rooting for WWE quite the same as they root for AEW. So that's why I'm saying it's a difficult thing for WWE to do. But WWE could find a way of involving the crowd more. We are seeing them going into the crowd that little bit more. We're seeing fights in the crowd a bit more. But any way that you can involve the crowd and make the crowd feel like they are an integral part of the show is obviously going to help these things. We've gone to a video package, by the way. We do have a poll that's up and running. So it ends, and we go quite quickly to this video package. There's not really much time, you know. It ends with JR talking about Triple H winning the Undisputed Championship. And now we just see, I love that moment. That Molly Holly moment's one of my favorite moments of the night when the top door closes and she goes down. And Rock and Hogan, I mean, that would be what everyone's talking about. This is a WrestleMania that, what I will say about it, you go to work the next day or school the next day, you'd be like, did you see WrestleMania last night? Like, it's got just big moments in it. New champion, the Rock Hogan thing, for example. Good crowd. Toronto crowd, electric. Days chance of me paying mods after early donations. Oh, wow. Donations don't buy modism. Never has been that way. Never will be that way. Maybe that's because of Rock Hogan. Without that, it's a lucky 7. Oh, yeah. What have people scored it? Actually, I haven't looked. 8 to 10. Wow. 8 to 10. 54% of people really enjoying this one. That last match was boring, said Dortnight. It was a bit flat. It was flat. I think anything really after the Hogan Rock match was going to be seen as being a bit of a disappointment. So there we go. We get the graphic, the logo in the corner, copyright 2002, and we get the old WWF scratch logo appearing on screen as that is the end of WrestleMania 18, and it's queuing up WrestleMania 19. We won't go to that one. We won't go to WrestleMania 19. So we'll end the countdown clock right there. 3:43 I've got it at. And, I mean, look, what I would say is I think for the first 3 hours, that's really easy to watch. I think that for the up till the Hogan match, like, as I said, after that Hogan match, you could end it there. I think the 40 minutes we get after, you just don't need it. You just really don't need it. I always think that 3 hours is perfect for a wrestling show. Anything over that, you can really take stuff away. And for 3 hours 43, for me, this is a little bit on the long side. It is WrestleMania, though, so you do forgive it. But it wasn't even worth it, was it? Like, the women's match was a bit meh. And Triple H Jericho was a bit meh, and the crowd were flat, and they were burnt out. And so, yeah, you know, it's one of those. So I think it does suffer by outstaying its welcome a little bit. I think Rock Hogan's amazing. Maybe you could look at the undercard and say that it's, you know, I mean, like Stone Cold and Scott Hall doesn't really do much. You know, you'd definitely want some more out of that, really. But I mean, I suppose it does what it kind of needed to do. Yeah, it's sort of lacking a little bit. You can tell that they're in need of some new star power. They're in need of like an injection of some new stars. And obviously we're really not far away from the likes of Batista and Cena and Brock and all of those guys arriving, and really Orton as well, really changing WWE. So a bit of a weird show, bit of a, the Attitude Era is over, the Ruthless Aggression Era hasn't begun, but a very solid watch for the majority of it. So I don't know that I could get to 8 to 10. I mean, I don't know that I could get to there. I'd probably be in the 7s personally. But as I said, it seems like lots of you enjoyed it, and that's great. Christmas Eve, it's done its job, hasn't it? As a retro watch along, it seems to have done its job. So at the moment, we've got 47% of people giving it 8 to 10, 36% of people giving it 7 to 7.75, 12% of people giving it 6 to 6.75, and 5% going 5.75 or below. Right, guys, and on that bombshell, we are done. We are done. Massive thank you from me. Just really appreciate it. We obviously had a bit of a gap here. What with normally we would be doing UFC, and there was no UFC tonight, so it just meant that we could do something different. I do really enjoy doing the retro watch-alongs, but they are something that I think work once in a blue moon rather than being like a regular thing. And what with it being Christmas Eve, we absolutely had to do this. So, yeah, really appreciate it. Have a fantastic Christmas, everyone. I really hope that you have a great day. It is just a day. I mean, like, it does seem like I'm going away for a week or something. It's just a day. It's Sunday. We won't be here tomorrow, but we are back on Monday for that Best of Raw watch along, and that'll be great to catch up with you guys, see what you had for Christmas. And don't forget, send in your pictures. Send in your pictures, send in your videos of your Christmas, whatever it is you get. Christmas presents, your lunch, whatever you want to share. Send it to wrestlingdays@gmail.com, because we will put those clips and pictures and stuff into the Wrestling Escape Pod. Wrestling Escape Pod is taped on Tuesday, airs on Wednesday. It's got its own channel. And yeah, I mean, if we get some really good stuff, obviously I'll share links on the Twitter to it. I'll even put a link on the Wrestling Days channel to it, which I never do. I never put links to the Wrestling Escape Pods. I always just treat it as its own thing. But yeah, if you're going to send stuff in, then make sure you do. And I'll make sure to put it in there and then, like, show that off to everyone. Awesome. Right. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate the support. Have a great Christmas. And I'll see you very soon on Boxing Day for Monday Night Raw. Bye for now.